to you, as Mandy Wiener would say, happy Friday. I'm hoping that you're going to have a great one, a beautiful weekend, a start off a good note, especially on a weekend such as this one. I'm happy to be with you this morning because we've got quite a lot to discuss. My name is Thabo Shole Mashao, is my surname. I'm in for Clement Manyathela, who was in for Bongani Bingwa, who is not feeling well, who is suffering from an allergy. I'm sure you saw on social media yesterday. And I was struggling to keep a straight face as I was talking to Bongani yesterday, doing a throw forward. I'm only saying it now because I was too coward to say it in front of him. I was just battling to keep a straight face. I just wanted to laugh, but I felt bad about it. Bongals, get well soon. We miss you, and we can't wait to have you with us. But speaking about us, you are the most important ingredient of this formula that we have here on 702. It's you at the top of the food chain. We do it all for you. The producers are here in Sinazo. They are making sure that the content is perfect to your liking and the features remain unchanged as they ought to be. On my side of the studio, pressing buttons, technical producer Abel is with us, Abel Mabalani, and of course you, the most important ingredient, as I said. Great having you with us. The lines have not changed. We're kicking off with an open line. Just a number of things just to bring to your attention. One, I don't know if you heard what Kagiso Mkunu had to say. Unfortunately, we can't play it again because it is so homophobic, it is so discriminating, and it is just so insensitive. Sadly, we can't give credence to that kind of venom on air. But he was just being terribly homophobic. You may or you may not know Kagiso Mkunu. He is apparently a self-styled head or president of Amabinga in KZN. He's a social figure. You'd remember him from when that terrible July trial where there was July unrests that you would remember after the incarceration of former President Jacob Zuma. He was one of the people who was said to be instigators. It needs to be said that he was not found guilty of any of that. But I mean, his rhetoric is just on another level. It's 2025, and the things that he said about the LGBTQIA plus community, scary stuff. I mean, calling them all sorts of animals, and it can't be repeated, but it was just too vile. There's a petition to get Kagiso Mkunu to appear before the Human Rights Commission and to get him to account for that, because on a public platform, you can't just be airing all that venom. I mean, he would be mad if someone was discriminating against men, black men, and the Zulu Nation. He'd be mad. He'd go crazy. But he discriminates against people of different persuasions to him. I have no idea what's the obsession with homophobes against. I just don't get it. So if you are not that way inclined, why bother? Why do you need to discriminate against other people? Why do you need to call them names? I don't get it. It's something that I genuinely don't get. That if I am not gay, why should I speak against gays? Why should I have problems with them? I'm not. And so why should I have a problem with them? Why should they have a problem with me as a heterosexual? Why should I have a problem with white people, tall people, light-skinned people, women? Why? It's something that... Don't you just hate it when you are in a hotel, public space, concert, wherever you may be, or just taking a stroll in a mall, and there's someone taking pictures and you are in that particular shot, the camera shot. They're taking a video, they're taking still pictures, and they don't care who's there. The camera is rotating all around, and so much that you may even appear in their video that they may post on various social media outlets. It could be that people don't even know that you are in the country at that particular moment, but that person has posted. It could be that your wife doesn't know that you are attending a rugby match at Loftus because you said you're going to China for the weekend. And now Abel is posting all of this, and you get stray shots, proverbial strays. Okay, I'm joking when I say all of that, right? But I'm just saying, maybe it's got nothing to do with anyone else, but I just don't want to be in your video. I don't want to be in your pictures. Why can't you just respect that? I had to stop some guy doing that. There was a couple at one of the hotels that I was in at the lobby, and I was checking in or checking out, whatever it was. And this guy was taking pictures, and I think it was a video because he was moving around and he didn't care who was in that video. And I had to stop him. I went to him and the lady that he was with, and I said, "Bruh, with all respect, I'm not here to fight with you or to create any sort of conflict. But you are taking videos, and I think I was also in that shot. Why do you do that? It could be that I don't want to be in your video. It could be that I'm an undercover cop and you're blowing my cover. It could be that. Why do you do that?" Fortunately, they both understood. They apologized. They deleted the video. Even if I am not an undercover cop, but why should I be in your video? Are you that type of person who goes around taking pictures and you don't care who's there? Take pictures of yourself, not of other people. I don't like that. And you could be attending a very nice concert. That's on a different note, though. A very beautiful musical concert. And someone is obsessed with their camera to the stage, to be fair to the stage. And you're thinking, when are you going to watch that? Why don't you just enjoy the moment? You are here now. You could be watching this live, absorbing it and consuming the thrill of the moment, but you're obsessed with your phone and your camera. And why do that? So that's a bit of my rant there. I hope it's not too much. It was supposed to be on a lighter note. I see it's taken a different turn. But I'd love to hear from you. Are you that type of person who doesn't care? You take pictures, videos all around, and you just dismiss it as nothing. Even if I will appear, so what? Or you are at Groove and people are taking pictures, and now my face is going to appear in your videos, and people say, "Hey, isn't that Thabo? Hey. No, man, let's not do that. Let's not do that. It could be that I'm overreacting. Feel free to tell me and put me straight on 072 702 1702. That's a line that you can use to send us a text message or a voice note of disapproval, or you agree with me on a strange day. That would be the first, right? So it could be that you agree with me. So feel free to do so on 072 702 1702. Alternatively, call us directly. I'd prefer that you speak to me. You ask me questions. We interact. You persuade me otherwise on 011 883 0702. And Mandla Mandela, he is in those flotillas, and they're saying that they're detained by the Israeli government. I am keen to hear your thoughts about that, because it's not just him. It's a number of people as well, 6 South Africans, including Mandla Mandela, who is a grandson of the late, great Nelson Mandela. And they are among a group of activists on those boats to Gaza as part of Globe Summit Flotilla. And they said that they were going to provide some aid, and they were detained by the Israeli forces. And so include amongst them, it would be Greta Thunberg, as Clement has said in the breakfast show earlier on. I'm keen to hear your views about that. I was speaking to Abel earlier on, and he was saying, "Guys, why are you putting your lives at risk? Why are you going that way?" And I was telling Abel, well, it's part of the cause, I suppose. If you're an activist, you must pay the price. But their detention, I suppose their work would not have received so much attention if Israel just allowed them to do and just to go through. Now they did get attention, and this is a very important cause, by the way. It's a very important cause. I'd love to hear from you about that and much, much more on 011 883 0702. That's the open line, right? Feel free to posit anything else that you may want to submit to us, anything that we may not be talking about. I'd love to hear from you, because we're also going to include Gratitude Friday at a later stage, around about 10 to 10 right there. So feel free to do that. 10 to 11, we'll be looking at the Across the Desk feature. Life coaches. When you tap into various media, social media sites, a number of people will say that they're life coaches. I don't know whether they're certified or not, but what is a life coach? Do you teach me how to live my life? Do you guide me? Are you a psychiatrist? Are you a psychologist? What background do you have? And I'm not saying that flippantly. I'm saying that on a very serious note. We'll be speaking to life coaches and understanding what is it that they do? How do they get paid for what they do on a day-to-day basis? When they wake up, they go to the office and do what? How do they consult? And who is most likely to be the client? Do they even call them clients or patients? What is it that they are called? Those who are consuming the product that life coaches are issuing out. Thoriso, Mokoena, Kagiso, Malepe are life coaches. They'll be my guest between 10 and 11. At 11 o'clock, that very famous, controversial feature, Relationship Focus. Today, we're asking how to make a long-distance relationship work. Do people still have long-distance relationships? In 2025, are they still there? But if they are, how do they work? And you don't see your partner for 6 months, and you connect with them, you see each other for a few days, you've never seen them mad, you've never seen them moody, it's always all nice on the phone or online. Does it even work? Does it even work? All that and more between 11 and 12. I look forward to your calls, your interaction. You know we fight, right? Not because we fight. We exchange robustly our views. So I'm happy to have that with you. I always look forward to that because it's nothing personal. We're trying to persuade each other. Anyone else who takes those things personally, I think they just need to take a chill pill, go to the south of France, hire a villa, and enjoy some nice champagne and cool down a little bit because we are not fighting. We will have strong exchanges, but we're not fighting. We don't hate on each other. We're showing each other's perspectives. There's a very beautiful line that I love from that very famous movie. And the line, I think it's by Eric Roth. And it is said by the character of Brad Pitt. It talks about, I was just trying to look for it as I was saying, but it talks about meeting people with a different viewpoint. I think it is just stunning, and that's exactly what we are trying to do. If you've got different views, you are most welcome to do so. We shouldn't hate on each other because we have different point of views. If anything else, it should make us feel good. Actually, here it is. I found it, and it's one of my favorite quotes ever. And I think about it every time I do the show. And I quote it by Eric Roth as it says, "I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. And if you find that you're not, I hope you have the strength to start all over again." I find it so gorgeous, and I love interacting with people from different point of views. So it's nothing personal. Let's allow your calls to come through on 011-883-0702. Abel, the show has officially begun.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
011-883-0702. Let's kick off with Ali in Tsakani. You are opening the doors for us, Ali. Good morning.
Good Friday morning, my brother. What a good show.
Oh, thank you, sir.
But first and foremost, I always wanted to say to you, thank you very much. You once assisted people that needed assistance in your previous life. We'll talk about that some other time.
Oh,
and
good.
I happen to be there. You are a good person. I know you very well.
Thank you so much. You know, you need to send that to my bosses and tell them that I need a raise because I desperately do. But I'm kidding. Thank you so much, Ali. Thanks, my brother. What do you want to say today?
I'm guilty as charged. I'm one of those persons who take videos and pictures in the stadium, at the groove, wherever everyone is not happy with me. If you happen to be a Thabo Bester, David Watson, sorry for you, because you'll appear people I don't know and I post them on my status.
Yeah, I mean, without their permission. So you just take videos and you post. Oh my gosh.
I don't know where that is coming from, but I take videos and pictures. I'm not sure if there are people like me. I always do that.
But what pushes you to do that? What sparks you to do that?
No, it's about me. Operation Sila. Sila. And when it happened to be there, it's about me. But many people appear, people I even don't know.
Oh, man.
I do that all the time.
Bruh, you know, that thing must be outlawed. You can't do that to us because we tell our partners that we are in China and the next thing they see us there in Tsakani with you. You see, you're breaking marriages, my brother. Please try not to do that. Ali, thanks very much. We're going to go to Kekelezo in a short while. But first, Ngwako in Polokwane. Ngwako, hey, welcome.
Thabo.
Moshad.
Lona.
Hey.
Your expectation of privacy in a public space is just amusing. it's just amusing. Now, if you wanted to remain discreet, Thabo, you can put on. We still have those surgical masks and balaclavas. You can put that on.
Yeah.
And get into the public
and
space.
operate.
So you send me into a fit of uncontrollable love.
Oh, man. No, but I mean, if I put in a mask, that then makes me stick out like a sore thumb because then the attention is on me. Like, who's that in a mask now? Where one?
It's not going to happen. You see, because, when I take that picture,
it's,
okay, Thabo in the background and a whole lot more that I want to be in my shot. I'm not specifically focusing on Thabo.
Yeah.
So you can't expect to be, and Thabo is just walking by.
Yes. Yes.
So,
no, but I mean, in a
Thabo.
public space, Ngwako, you must be at least aware that there might be people who don't want to be in that shot because they're operating.
Yes, but it's a public space. As we are busy
you're right. It's a public space. Right.
Yeah, as we are busy debating, trying to reason with me, not to be in your shot. Someone else is taking a picture elsewhere. You are in that shot. The both of us are in that shot. You can't. It's an unreasonable expectation.
I suppose I'm being too much. Ngwako, really appreciate your time. Funzo in Pretoria. Funzo, hi.
Yes, how are you,
I'm trying my best, Funzo. It's tough. We keep going. How are you?
I'm trying also, man.
Let's keep trying. What's up? What's on your mind, brother?
There's this thing, man. I don't think it's a good thing, but let's just look at it because I'm looking at these guys, the Israeli government.
Yeah.
And Manja Mandela and the rest of the South Africans that are being kept there. So if they don't release them now, like as the president of South Africa issued a statement that they must be released as soon as possible. So what are we going to do as South African government? Is it not the beginning of the war between us and Israel? And as things stand, we don't have a good relationship with those
countries. Yes. No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Nothing. That's what's going to happen. And nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen.
No. That's just how it goes.
So we're just going to leave the...
Except for engagements, we'll talk, exchange letters until they want to release them. That's just how it's going to go. I don't want to lie to you and create some sort of diplomatic manufacturing concoctions of diplomatic nature and tell, no, we'll exchange communication and perhaps at the background there'll be some engagement, but nothing much. I mean, they'll be released when Israel wants them to go. That's just how it is. As simple as that. When Israel feels like they want them to go, that's when they'll be released. We shouldn't even crack our heads around it and try to... That's just how it is. I mean, history tells us that, So, so they must all hang 10 in the meantime, I suppose. It's unfortunate because and it's very unfortunate because we need some levels of accountability. I say that with a heavy heart. I'm not making light of the situation. I say that with a heavy heart because if it were South Africa, the pressure would have been very huge from other countries. The pressure would have been immense. We'd be threatened with this, that, and the other. So we are all equal, but we're not equal at all, Funzo. Thanks very much, Funzo in Pretoria, 27 after 9. Kekeletso Kena from Soweto. Kekeletso, good morning.
Good morning, Thabo. How are you?
I'm free. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in a good place.
Yes. I mean, we also called you because briefly you have a petition that you've put together against Ngizwe Mkhunu. Say a little bit about that, please.
Okay, so just a bit of background. Ngizwe Mkhunu, known as this guy with Binga Nation, he had a rant on Facebook. This after pictures of two gay men. It was a wedding. They were wearing traditional clothes. So the one was wearing Xhosa clothes, and then Impahla Xhosa, and then the other one was wearing from the Zulu nation. And he then comes onto Facebook and spews the most hateful, vile utterances about how gay people are dogs, how they must be beaten, how they must be arrested, how they must be thrown out of the country. And from just that, literally Facebook was alive with homophobic statements that are directed at the LGBTIAQ people. And so as a result, we then started a petition to compel the Human Rights Commission to do something about it, because, you know, people take lightly when we say something is hate speech and that it actually exacerbates hate crimes in the country. People understand what we mean by that. But if you go onto Facebook right now, the vitriol that is on there currently, every homophobe has found a corner and come out. It's a horrible week to be a member of the LGBTIAQ community.
Yeah.
It's really, like, it's been
and he's a person of influence, social influence as well. He's not just an ordinary person. That would still be wrong, by the way. I'm not saying that if you are less influential, it's okay to say that. But I'm saying, I mean, he enjoys great support. And so he's got a great following. And he also says Somizi must be thrown out of the country or something as well.
Yeah, he basically said that Somizi and his tribe must be thrown out of the country, and literally went as far as calling him a dog. And that, for me, is where it is so dehumanizing. It's literally criminal. And I'm not sure how someone thinks it's okay to go onto an international platform and spew such vitriol. And I know those who have been following Ngizwe, we know of his utterances. This is not the first time.
Yeah.
Initially, he had issues about people who speak Sepedi.
Yes.
And that escalated and that created drama. So he has a way of polarizing society. And I'm not sure why he's gotten away with it up until now, but we must make sure that he does not get away with it.
Have you submitted this to the Human Rights Commission, Kekeletso?
So the Human Rights Commission has just written a letter to us to say that they are attending to the matter. What I'm failing to understand is hate crimes is a punishable offense in this country. It's a criminal offense. Hate speech also. So I'm failing to understand why Ngizwe has not been arrested. You see, this thing of allowing celebrities and politicians to get away with murder, literally, or to get away with crimes because they are popular. It is why we are sitting in this situation in South Africa. Why is Ngizwe not arrested? It is a public statement. Why has he not been arrested? Why is it taking the police so long? Why is it taking the Human Rights Commission so long? What must happen? What are they investigating? You know?
Yeah.
So you realize that these systems, these institutions don't work in the country. And this is why we as the public must compel them to work. The petition is literally trying to tell them that, look, South Africans are instructing you, since we are paying your salaries, we are instructing you to go and act and stop Ngizwe from uttering further hate speech, but also you need to do something. This man is he's just hateful. Let's just be honest.
Kekeletso, thanks for bringing that to our attention. And I'm hoping that also Somizi does something, because he was called out by name. And I'm hoping that he takes this to the Equality Court as well. Please keep us posted on that particular petition. 28 minutes to 10. And Swiss Zulu standing by with Eyewitness News headlines. We're a little bit late. Apologies, Swiss. So what's on the menu?
Thanks, Thabo. Good morning. Well, Trade Union Nahau is marching to the Gauteng Health Department today to call for the improvement of the province's healthcare system. The union says it will be handing over a memorandum of demands to MEC Nomantunko Moraluhuku, calling for her to urgently intervene. Nahau says maladministration, dilapidated infrastructure and other challenges continue to badly affect healthcare workers and communities. Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis says a tender fraud investigation related to a 1.6 billion rand construction contract has nothing to do with alleged gang boss Ralph Stanfield and his wife Nicole Johnson. Earlier this week, the police conducted a search and seizure operation at 26 addresses across Cape Town. The raids were prompted by information from a whistleblower and investigations by both the City of Cape Town and the SAPS. And National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza is adamant the G20 meeting of Parliament speakers, known as the P20, will have its next meeting in the United States next year. This after the US indicated at the second G20 foreign ministers meeting held at the United Nations last month that it intends on scaling back on several G20 programs when it takes over the presidency from South Africa. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Travelling on the N3 North, we've got heavy traffic volumes between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange due to roadworks. Marlborough Drive in itself is backed up towards the N3 turn off. While travelling on the N1, the Mike 1 South we've got delays between Grayston Drive and Glenhove Road. That's due to roadworks taking place along this route. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Van Buren Road and the Gilulis interchange. While heading towards Protea Glen, we expect delays on the N12 West between the R558 and Klipspruit Valley Road. That's due to faulty traffic lights there. They're also out of order in Devland at the Union Avenue and the Golden Highway. Please be on the lookout there and continue driving with care. We'll have more updates for you at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
Africa, as you mentioned, that it's Friday. Let's loosen up. I'm a blind person. Now, Africa, when time has come for shelling, whose task is that? I'm the one who must do it, or the lady must do it?
Wait, help me understand firstly, gentlemen. What does shelling mean? Oh, is it courting? Okay. That's what you call it in this class. Ooh, I'm showing my age there. In 2025, anyone can do it. I think 25 years ago, 50 years ago, it would be the job of the man to approach the woman.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
Midday Report host Mandy Wiener has written a book about the negotiations that took place between political parties after last year's elections, which led to the formation of the Government of National Unity. Her book is called The Deal, and 702 invites you to the launch book. Clement Manyathela will be interviewing Mandy about her book on his show on Wednesday, the 8th of October at 10 a.m. To be part of the studio audience when Clement interviews Mandy about the fascinating book, please send an email to contact@702.co.za to reserve your seat. That's contact@702.co.za to be part of the studio audience for Clement's Mandy Winner book launch interview next week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. 702. Let's walk the talk.
When I say insurance, you say pineapple. Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Mzansi, Powerball is bringing the thrill with a jaw-dropping 110 million rand estimated jackpot this Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 110 million rand jackpot today and step closer to a world of endless possibilities. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Hey, Laura.
The unmistakable voice of jazz and soul returns to South Africa. Gregory Porter.
Join the two-time Grammy Award winner for 3 intimate performances now at Teatro Monte Casino on the 20th, 21st and 22nd of November. Don't miss one of the greatest voices of our time, Gregory Porter, live. Book now at showtime.co.za.
Tap into the power of good sleep. Visit Dial-A-Bed today and save up to 30% on our best-selling brands. Our Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now $9,499, and our 40 Winks Active Zone Extra Firm Queen Set is now only $11,999. Save $6,000. Plus, get next-day delivery on our bestsellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
011-883-0702, 22 minutes to 10 o'clock. Thabo in for Clement. If you've just joined us, welcome. We were just shooting the breeze on the open line about this, that, and the other. This is what you had to say.
Morning, Thabo and team. Mapari here from a report. Gratitude Friday today. On Wednesday, my cousin texted me and said, "Hey, we are going to watch Kanye West. I got your ticket. It's just me and you. We go in there." I'm like, "Aibo." And then, thanks, my man. So I'm grateful for that. I didn't watch Kendrick, but now at least I can watch Kanye West on 13 December.
Good morning, Thabo and team. Happy Friday. So, I think, this is for a good cause, as you said. Without them being detained, they wouldn't have received so much attention. And that's what an activist does. That's what, if you want to make a change, you have to act. So, some people they're not risking their lives, but they are going out there to fight for the lives of those that cannot fight for themselves. And look, they were going there to provide aid to Palestinians, and therefore this happened. And for me, I salute them. I am with them, and if I could, I would do the same thing. If things allowed me, I would definitely go out there and fight for those that are voiceless, because in reality, that's how change happens.
No, definitely. That's how change takes place. 011-883-0702. Someone who wants to weigh in on that issue as well. Temba in Pretoria. Morning, Temba.
Hello, Thabo. How are you?
I'm free. Thanks for your patience and thanks for holding, Temba. The floor is yours.
Okay, I want to talk about this the disaster of Israel, whereby that chief Mandela is being detained. It's a really bad thing, man, because people like to talk and condemn, but they don't act. So Mandela did it and act. He went there and showed that I mean it. I'm not only spreading the word on the Facebook and Twitter like everyone, saying, no, we don't like this, what Israel is doing. He went there. So let's support him. Let's do a petition, and then we support the president on his efforts to release that person. As South Africans, we make a petition to American embassy here, because the embassy of Israel is not there. We say we are in support of our citizens to come back home. They must be released.
Well, Temba, thanks very much for that. And obviously, Temba is referring to the Flotilla and mentioning that Nelson Mandela's grandson is also one of those people who are detained. And we'll see how the story develops. It's 19 minutes to 10 o'clock. Any other issue that you'd like to bring forward, you are most welcome to do so. I would love to hear from you on 011-883-0702. I've been neglecting some voice notes. Let's dive into them, Abel.
Morning, Thabo and the listeners. Regarding the people who are taking pictures in the public space, to be honest with you, I don't have a problem with that. People have to capture memories, like the one we were making an example in the plane.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the first time this guy was in a plane, so he wants to show his brother. So I really don't think it's a problem. I myself don't like taking pictures in public, but if some people taking pictures, I really don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, not to take me pictures, but if the camera is passing where I'm standing, I mean, he wants to take a billboard behind me, Why not? Thank you. Tulas is a yen speaking.
Yeah, take pictures, but not of me. I hear you. Take pictures, all you want, but just don't include me in those pictures because I didn't agree to be in those pictures. You know what I mean? I'm happy for you to take those pictures. It could be that I said to 702 that I am not feeling well, and here I am dropping it like it's hot at a club, and there I appear. You see now, you've cost me something very dear to my heart, thanks to your insatiable appetite to just take pictures. Take your pictures, but exclude me. 011-883-0702. Abel voice notes.
About photos and videos taken in public, I really get your point. Like we have always had a problem about the cameramen in soccer matches. I hear a lot of marriages have been lost because of that.
Yes.
But before we target individuals, people that we meet in the street doing this videoing and all the like, what are we saying about professionals, cameramen, news people at a scene of an accident, shooting, and they don't ask for permission for people on the background? And certain movies, certain adverts, and all the likes, no one asks for your permission as you walk around in the background.
Yeah.
The moment we start being serious about it, it should apply to everyone, not just to mere individuals on the road. This is Melo J from Joburg.
Melo, 100%. But you see, with news individuals, with the media, be it filming or any other form of broadcasting or media entity, at least you have recourse. You can approach the media house, you can approach the producers of that film, and then you can have recourse. But if it's just Melo who took pictures, and he posted pictures everywhere, and we can't even trace it back to Melo because the picture went viral, that's something else. That is something else, right? And those individuals are regulated. At least we know that they operate within the framework of the law. And if for whatever reason they transgress that particular law, action can be taken. But just an ordinary Thabo, they're taking pictures, and 2 weeks down the line, you realize that you were a superstar on someone's homemade video. That's not okay. That's not okay.
This is Peto from City Deep. Talking about taking videos. I remember this other day, I was still studying at TUT, maybe 2015 or 2016. Some actors were there to shoot. So I wanted to take a video to show my friends that Skimsam is acting on my campus. One of the crew members tried to confiscate my phone. I learned the lesson the hard way. But at the crew, I am sorry, man. I am always taking videos. I am sorry to everyone.
Good morning, Busele Reta Bulekai. I hope Horo sharp. Reta Nakia the video. I do take pictures and I do take videos.
No.
But however, when I post, I make sure that I post myself only. Or if I'm with my child, it's me and my child. My child can play with yours, but believe me, when I post, I do not include your child. Your child will not be part of my video.
Yeah.
And like when I post on my socials, it's just me and my children.
Hi, Thabo. This is Bagang from Centurion. Yo, I don't get it. People always want to post everything, and I'm one of those people. I don't care. I do not want to post my life on social media. If I'm going somewhere, that's just for me to get the experience. If I have to take pictures, it's just me, for me to keep my husband and my family. Like, I don't get it. And then people are there taking videos of everything. Guys, it's not fair. Yo, people should just be careful. Just don't include other people. We get it. You want to be seen. You want to take experiences of everything and share with the whole world, but not all of us are like that. I think we should just respect that. Like, not all of us want to be seen by people on social media. I'm a very private person. I have social media, but no, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, for a change. I mean, we had Joy of Jazz the other day here in Centered, and people were taking pictures, and some individuals were taking videos. And I was like, guys, I don't want to be in those videos. Genuinely, I really don't want to. I'm here to enjoy the jazz, and let me be. Just let me be. They are taking pictures of themselves. I'm not saying they're hounding after me. I'm not that important. But I'm just saying, if I'm in that shot, I genuinely don't want to be in your pictures. Do your own stuff. Have a good time. Blare us out if you can, but don't include me. Just don't include me. 011-883-0702. I think Ngizwe had a response, Abel, to what Kekeletso had to say. Let's listen to it quickly.
Hi, Thabo and the team. With regard to Mukunu, I think we need to find other available avenues like educational campaigns, because whatever the human rights will say or instruct Mukunu to do, it won't change the narrative of his target audience, because this man have a target audience. So I think the best way is to provide him with education, because sometimes people hate what they don't know. David.
And education is a waste of time on some people. I have to say. He is an adult. He needs to know this. And I'm sure he knows all of this by now. He's still holding on to his backward views, to his toxic views. He knows all of this, by the way. I mean, similar to racists. They know what they're doing. They just like boiling our skins. And that's why then, against such stuff, I think we need to really think about serious punishment for people who transgress all these laws. We are trying to build a country. We have so many flaws. We are fighting corruption. We're fighting this. We do not need to be fighting people. We do not need the extra burden of people who are dividing us even further. We are already divided as it is. We are already divided, harshly so. To our peril, to our demise as a nation, we are so divided. Racists, homophobes, and all these other individuals who are divided, there must be some serious punishment for those people. They should not get away with a slap on the wrist for dividing the nation like that. It must be a serious crime. And this thing of taking them to school, to some workshops, and all of that, It's about time, guys. It's really about time. You are really infringing on people's dignity. Do you understand that there is no other right that can compete with right to dignity? There isn't. There isn't. In our constitution, it's one of those 2 or 3 rights that cannot have limitations. So I am thinking, if you do that, we must say, Papa, come this side. Not with that. The other stuff, yeah, I understand. But this, no, man. 10 minutes to 10 o'clock. Johan, it's Johan. I nearly said John. Sorry, Johan. You are calling us from the Val. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for holding.
Are you well, my brother?
I am trying, Johan. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I completely agree with what you just said. And I'll use Mr. Mandela as an example.
Yeah.
Let's run the hypothetical. So the IDF allows them access to Gaza. They take them, they drop them in the middle of Gaza with the stuff that they want to give to the Gazans. Can you explain to me the following 24 hours? Because I can, but what do you think would happen to Mr. Mandela and everyone from that flotilla within 24 hours?
What would happen to them in Gaza?
Yeah, correct. So we've just delivered them to Hamas, and now they're going to distribute their aid. What's going to happen?
Well, there are a couple of scenarios, but I hear where you're going with this. And
so
yours is one of the speculations that I may have. I'll also posit one. They will be treated as heroes. They will be celebrated. They'll be carried on people's shoulders, and songs will be sung about them. That's one scenario, right? Just to be fair with you. Just to be fair. No, hold on. I'm coming to you. I'm not running away from what you're trying to say. I'm positing one view. But the second view, which I think, and I could be wrong, is where you are going. It could be that they are taken hostage and it further escalates the situation and complicates a crisis that has been unfolding for months on end.
Yes, my brother, and we can even articulate it even more clearly because these are the facts. You know that sadly, and ladies, you should take note. So the ladies will be taken hostage and raped. The men that are part of the LGBTQ community will be thrown off the roof right there and then. They won't even be able to deliver one can of anything because they will be treated like any gay person in Gaza. There's no gay person in Gaza because you get killed. And inevitably, do you know what a Mandela is worth? And that we should actually just allow them access to prove a point, but that would harm them. So I do not think that they must be given access. But however, the consequences of access will be death.
And Johan, both you and I, as reasonable people, I would like to believe, one, we would agree that that's one possible scenario that you've put down. I've put down the other, and we don't know which one of those would work themselves out. But secondly, I'll give you a chance again. Hold on, let me just finish.
Sure.
Secondly, we do know that their detention was not in their best interests. I think both of us can agree that the IDF did not detain them just to keep them safe from being raped, killed, maimed, or being held hostage, and more demands are made at their demise. We know that both you and I know it was not for their interests that they've been held detention. I think also that must come forward.
Right, let's agree with that. Let's agree on that. However, but just like you with your previous caller.
Yeah.
So, my brother, what are you doing there? Why are you dividing our country with Palestine, Israel, rubbish? Come back home, Wazalaba, and keep quiet on foreign nonsense. Let's be South African and save South Africa.
It's not foreign nonsense. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why. One of the pillars of the struggle against apartheid during the 80s and 90s, one of those pillars, very important, was international solidarity. Other, of course, was underground, the armed side of things, the armed wing. But one of them was international solidarity. And we wouldn't be where we are, having voted for the first time in 1994, if some countries did not put their heads on the block and said, hey, get this thing right. On our own, we were not going to resolve this. So international solidarity is also critical in resolving some conflicts.
Right. Yeah. It's my brother say you are right, but fast forward to 2025. Who cares about South Africa?
Well,
no one.
But we don't have issues that are of that nature to warrant international. You would also argue that USA cares about South Africa, right? I mean, those people who were taken as refugees. Clearly, Trump cares about that.
69 or 59 South Africans.
Yeah.
My brother,
who were lying as well about the killings and everything, and now they're regretting it. They want to come back, but they were entertained. Yeah.
So the average Afrikaner or South African has never been able to apply for a refugee program.
I agree.
Their Congress have not signed off the refugee program. It's an executive order.
I agree.
I doubt the legitimacy and the credibility of them really being legit.
So you see, you and I on the both sides. I was answering your question about who cares.
Yes,
I was just both you and I agree in a sense that, Johan, ordinary Afrikaners, farmers, they know the truth about this country. They love this country, by the way. I mean, they love this country genuinely, and they want to make it work. And they wouldn't have applied for that refugee nonsense in the US anyway. I know ordinary Afrikaners, farmers, South Africans love this country with all their hearts. They are willing to die for this country even. So we are talking about the few nonsense when I was answering your question. But equally so, I think we have to say, we don't know how to have panned out. All that we are saying is that we need to allow for protest. You know, Johan, if we don't do that, if you and I do not open ourselves up to be tolerant to protest, even that we disagree with, tomorrow you and I will be protesting against our cause and will be treated like rubbish and will be killed and will be detained. That's why we must fight for the right of people and protesters to be protected at all costs, because tomorrow it's you and I protesting about our cause. We wouldn't want to be beaten up for that, for our beliefs, whatever they are.
But we must never fight with Hamas terrorists. That's the reality.
And it's not about Hamas. It's about the people of Palestine. Hamas is just a few. It's really not about Hamas. It's about the people of Palestine, the babies that are dying. It's not about Hamas. I don't give a hoot about Hamas, by the way. Just so that the record shows. It's about the people and the children that are starving, and obviously the hostages that must be released as well. We must also say that the hostages must be released.
You must check on Google Photos. There's 1,600 or 1,619 trucks that have been delivered, and the Hamas is not allowing it in.
Yeah.
The only way that they say they hijack the trucks, and the trucks that they hijack, they then sell.
Johan, let's leave it at that, brother. I think we've ventilated it enough. Thanks very much. Dion, I was making time to include you before we say goodbye. Welcome, Dion. You're in Sandton.
Hi.
Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm free. How are you?
Good, fine, thanks.
Yeah.
No, I just caught a little bit in the car. I caught a little bit of your discussion regarding being videoed. My cousin from Australia was here visiting, and he's a bit of a party animal. And he said one night after dinner, well, we need to go clubbing. Now, bear in mind, I'm 60 and he's 58. Clubbing is not something I've ever done.
It's far worse than me, man. Go ahead.
And you can probably hear, I'm a white boy, so it was quite funny.
You lie.
Yeah. And we asked the waiter that we were at dinner.
Yeah.
We said to him, listen, and we were in Rosebank. We said to him, listen, we need to go to find a club. Where's a club? So he pointed us in that direction of a club here down in Rosebank. I forget the name of the club.
Yeah.
I think it's called Mokoena or something like that.
Yeah.
And so we arrived, and you can imagine there's like 300. This was about midnight. About 300 people.
Yeah.
And 2 whiteys. Okay, so it was very funny, and they're like way older than what you should be when you go clubbing. Anyway, it was such a fantastic evening. We were so welcomed. I must tell you, it was the most wonderful experience.
Really?
It was amazing. It was amazing. People were so warm towards us. Anyway, about a week later, I walk into my local coffee shop, and as I walk in, the entire staff screams, "Hey, Dion from the club! Dion from the club!"
Dion, we have to leave it at that. I've run out of time. You must call in again with that story. I want to hear how it ended. 2 minutes to 10.
All cars are designed to move. A Mazda is crafted to move you. Every line, every detail, form in motion, beauty with purpose. So that when you drive, you connect. Car and driver become one. One rhythm. Builds, holds, breaks free. The feeling will find you. Mazda. Wonder awaits.
Stamino Grow is a 5-in-1 supplement with amino acids, antioxidants, B vitamins, and other essential vitamins and minerals. Stamino Grow helps promote energy, well-being, immune defense, and mental vitality. Stamino Grow, 22 years of supporting Mzansi. Ranked amongst the top 5 best-performing multivitamin brands in SA. Stamino Grow. Grow for it. To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission. PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Thoriso Zulu. Trade Union Nehawu will march to the Gauteng Health Department's offices today to call for the improvement of the healthcare system in the province. The union says it will be handing over a memorandum of demands to MEC Nomantunko Morauluku, calling for her to urgently intervene. Nehawu says maladministration, dilapidated infrastructure and other challenges continue to badly affect healthcare workers and communities. Ntokozo Kumalo reports.
As the union marks its provincial day of action, its attention is firmly set on the Department of Health, urging it to respond to long-standing concerns. Nehawu says the recent revelations of corruption at Tembisa Hospital, one of the facilities plagued by serious challenges, underscore the depth of the crisis. Earlier this week, the SIU released a report showing that billions of rands were looted from the struggling facility through irregular tender awards. The union says the findings confirm the department's failure to deal with systematic problems in the province. Ntokozo Kumalo, Eyewitness News.
Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis says a tender fraud investigation related to a 1.6 billion rand construction contract has nothing to do with alleged gang boss Ralph Stanfield and his wife Nicole Johnson. Earlier this week, a police search was conducted and a seizure operation at 26 addresses across Cape Town. The raids were prompted by information from a whistleblower and investigations by both the City of Cape Town and the SAPS. Charges against Stanfield, Johnson and former Mako member for Human Settlements Malusi Boy related to a 1 billion rand city housing construction contract were provisionally withdrawn recently. Hill Lewis has denied that Stanfield and Johnson's involvement in the city's latest tender fraud debacle has anything to do with them.
No, they are not related. This is an entirely different matter.
Staying in Cape Town, the city says the deployment of additional security on a dangerous section of the N2 highway from the airport to Somerset West will help enhance safety. In July, a concrete block struck a vehicle near Borchards Quarry and a woman travelling with her husband from Somerset West to the airport was left wounded. 44 additional metro and traffic officers will now patrol the section known as a hotspot for criminals. Ntutuzelo Nene reports.
The City Safety and Security MMC JP Smith says the newly deployed officers will also have drone assistance to police any criminal activity on this dangerous part of the N2 highway. Smith says they are also noticing a shift in criminality to other city highways.
The freeway safety plan covers all the main freeways and several of them have hotspots that we have to deal with. That hotspot, for instance, recently started including the N1 closer to Cape Town with the people on the Transnet and Prasa Road Reserve who started also to engage in these attacks on motorists.
He says the additional deployment will help increase the frequency and presence on these roads. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
And National Assembly Speaker Thabo Didiza is adamant the G20 meeting of Parliament speakers, known as the P20, will have its next meeting in the United States next year. This after the US indicated at the second G20 foreign ministers meeting held at the United Nations last month that it intends on scaling back on several G20 programs when it takes over the presidency from South Africa. US officials who were expected to attend this week's P20 meeting of speakers in the Western Cape were a no-show after a budget shutdown in Washington put a freeze on government spending. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
The US was not on hand to receive the 11th P20 summit's final declaration, which stresses the importance of upholding multilateralism and resisting protectionism. The declaration also makes commitments to fighting climate change, addressing the debt of low and middle-income countries, the need for a just energy transition, and helping developing nations reap the benefits of critical minerals. Closing the summit, Speaker Thabo Didiza was applauded by delegates when she said South Africa is ready to assist the United States to host the next meeting of parliamentarians.
As I will be handing over through diplomatic channels, as we have agreed with the United States, we will inform them that we stand ready as the P20 to work with them to ensure that P20 2026 will be in the United States.
Didiza says implementing the pledges made by the summit will require navigating complex political landscapes. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Claremont.
Gold is trading at $3,845.05 an ounce. The rand is at 17.29 to the dollar, 23.24 to the pound, 20.27 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.50 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 South. This is between Greyston Drive and Glenhove Road. That's due to roadworks taking place along that route. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. That's due to roadworks. And if you are traveling on the N3 North between the Geldenes interchange and the Kilulis interchange, do expect about a 15-minute hold-up.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 26 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, trade union NEHAWU will march to the Gauteng Health Department's offices today to call for the improvement of the province's healthcare system.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
7:02
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Six minutes after 10 o'clock. Thanks very much for staying with us. I know a number of you have been with us since 9 o'clock and even before then. In the previous hour, we had a very explosive open line. Thanks very much for participating. I loved your views. I loved your engagements. We're chatting about those individuals who are just walking around, taking pictures and videos and including our faces without our concern and without our consent, and they would be just having a ball, and the next thing you see yourself on social media, you are trending. You don't know how it came about, and you told your wife that you are in China, but there you are at a Pretoria club, dropping it like it's hot, and it's now affecting your marriage thanks to those socially awkward individuals who just move around taking pictures. Now you've caught strays. But on a serious note, there are some serious implications. I'm making light of the situation, obviously, but generally, it could be that you just don't want to be in someone's video. Why walk around with a camera like that? Could be an undercover cop, and there you are, having blown it. But thanks for your engagements. Thanks for your concerns, your queries, your assertions. Really appreciate it, and keep those messages coming through. Between 10 and 11, Clement would have the Across the Desk feature. And every Friday, without fail, they speak to interesting individuals from different industries, different backgrounds, work persuasions, just to get to understand that industry a little bit intricately. There could be an industry that you've been thinking about, and you're thinking, what do these people do really? Life coaches comes under the spotlight today, this morning, from now to 11. You've heard people saying that they're life coaches. They wake up in the morning, brush their teeth, jump into the shower, wear beautiful clothes, smell good. What is it that they do after that? Where do they go? Do they go to the office? And what happens when they get to the office? Are they psychologists? Are they counselors? Do we need a life coach? What does a life coach do? Do they tell me how to live my life? And what's that space all about? It could be that you are also a life coach and you'd like to share your thoughts with us. Please, you're most welcome to do so. It could be that you've consulted a life coach before. How have they changed your life, if that at all? I would love to hear from you about all those issues and more. Today on Across the Desk, life coaches.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
And here we are joined by professional life coaches, people whose work revolves around guiding individuals to unlock their potential, set meaningful goals, and navigate life's challenges with confidence. Not all of us are the same. Some perhaps don't need guidance, but a lot of people do need a bit of guidance here and there. And we wanted to understand about life coaches today. And sitting across me on Across the Desk is Thoriso Mokoena, life coach. Thoriso, thanks for joining us. Welcome to 702.
Thank you so much.
Lovely having you with us.
Thank you, same here.
Great stuff. Kagiso Malepe, also life coach. Kagiso is here with us. Welcome, Kagiso. Lovely having you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's maybe kick off with you, Thoriso, as a rose among thorns here in the studio. What is a life coach? What is a life coach? You do what? You wake up and you do what?
I dress up and show up.
And
I'm kidding though. So a life coaching, or a life coach is somebody who is in partnership with the client to unleash their potential, because we believe that there's so much more to you as an individual to actually what you're settling for. So to some people, they've set goals, but somehow they're battling in how to achieve that. So you would then need a coach to come and walk with you on this journey to achieve or to attain what you want to achieve.
Is that different from a mentor?
Definitely. A mentor is more of saying, walk as I have walked. A coaching is that I don't know how you're going to work, but I'll help you in you defining your own work. So a mentor, it could be, mentors mostly are in specific areas.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I want to be a rodeo host and you have an experience in that, you can be my mentor.
I see.
You show me how to get to the level where you are at.
But I still need a life coach.
Definitely, you still do need a life coach.
Okay. And Kagiso, let's come to you. Yes. When you are a life coach, what do you take into consideration? Is it purely the goals and aims or professional aspirations of an individual, or does it go a little beyond that?
Look, it goes beyond that because you don't only deal with a career or a certain aspect, but you deal with everything. For example, you'd find that a person is a speaker, okay? And as a speaker, you find that you excel in speaking, but then there's this aspect in your life, for example, the aspect of family, whereby you're from a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
And you have got these childhood traumas that are now resurfacing in your speaking, because sometimes you hear people when they speak, you hear that arrogance and all those things.
Yeah.
There's a certain behavior that you see on people.
Yeah.
But as a coach, you're just going to have to go and check the root cause. What could be the cause? Why this behavior? I need to go deeper, just beyond I just need to go deeper to check the root cause. Why this behavior? For example, there are people who say, I want to achieve this, and that. But then you find that in the process of that, there are certain elements that blocks them to achieve that. So as a coach, I force people to, or I help people to look inside themselves. I help you to face yourself. Because I always say to people, my responsibility as a coach is to help you to face yourself, to face your worst fear, to face your enemies. And when I talk about enemies, I'm not talking about people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about things like condemnation. Somebody has a problem with confidence.
Yeah.
And if you check, you'd find some of them, the background has contributed to that lack of confidence. So
how is that different from a psychologist? Because if you go for counseling and you sit with the psychologist, they'll tell you about your childhood issues and all that stuff. How is that different?
Look, I think with psychology, there are certain things that they align, Me as a coach, I would tell you some of the things, but there is a point where I see now, here it's a case that this case must be addressed by a psychologist because he will go deep to, for example, if you have issues, you were raped, you were young, and now you've got that trauma, whenever you see men, you're not comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, psychologists will have to go through and say, okay, fine.
See.
Let's just go back there.
You don't replace psychologists.
No, we don't. We work
them.
together. Yes.
There are certain clients that literally need therapy.
Yeah.
Because you're not therapists.
Yes.
So, but we're saying that after you've done the therapy work, come to us as coaches so that we can be future pacing. What's your future then looking like?
Yes.
So we don't want you to be stuck, and we don't dwell too much on the past,
like
what has happened with the psychologist. But we're saying we acknowledge what you went through.
Yeah.
We work on that. From there, let's focus on where you are going now. We're setting the goals now. We're getting you unstuck.
So when I was in school, and they asked me, what do you want to become? I would say, I want to become a lawyer, a doctor, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Never thought of a life coach. Actually, to be honest, at that point, I didn't even know anything about the life coach up until recent history.
Sure.
Where does this career come from?
Look, I don't know.
It's always been there. We just didn't call it life coach. I don't know. But you remember, I mean, when we were in primary school, I'm just guessing that we could be from the same generation.
Sure.
If it's an insult, please forgive me. But all I'm trying to say is that you'd say, I want to become a doctor. I want to become... Life coach was not a career that you would consider.
Not really, no.
I don't remember it, genuinely.
It wasn't.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't.
I don't remember that.
Me
so when
too,
did
at
it come
that
about?
Time, I didn't know that actually you can be a coach.
Yeah.
Then
Where did you meet it?
I met it when I was looking for myself. I met coaching when I was Thoriso, looking for Thoriso.
Yeah.
Because there was a point in my life where I felt like I'm so stuck, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
And I knew that the life that I'm living is not the life that I want. Because when I was young, I was ambitious. I had seen something that I want. But life happened, Life happened somehow. And you lose focus, you lose who you wanted to be.
Yeah.
So coaching, that's when it came in. So I didn't know that actually I would fall in love and become a coach. I just went there to look for me, to help me, to unstuck me so that I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I realized that, damn, this is beautiful. This coaching thing is nice. If it helped me, then it can help other people.
Others. And Kagiso, I'm just thinking, whilst we're speaking about not having this career, not having had this career back at the time, you bumped into it how, and what made you stick to it?
You know, funny enough with me, I did not know that I'm doing life coaching. Because like I was talking to people,
Yes.
empowering people, training people. I mean, my journey started from long ago. I became a preacher when I was 12 years old.
Oh my.
Yeah, so now I've been speaking all over, traveling, talking to people.
Yes.
You know, you grow up into this thing, invited in radio interviews and so on. Until one man phones me and he's like, "No, do you really know what you're doing?" I'm like, "No, I'm impacting lives. All I want to see is to facilitate the growth of people. I want people to become the best version of themselves."
Yes.
And this guy tells me, "No, what you are doing is actually life coaching." Because we were in a business seminar and someone was talking about you there. I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is very interesting." And this guy says, "No, come, let's talk." So we had a meeting and he helped me with brand packaging.
Yes.
And when we were sitting down there and he was telling me, this is how you have to do things and so on. I'm like, this is what I've been doing all along. I just did not know that it's life coaching. So honestly speaking, to me, it's a calling. It's a lifestyle. So because I say to people, I built my life around my lifestyle. I mean, I built a brand around my lifestyle.
Yes. So you walk the talk, like us here on 702.
Yes, sir.
So do you have to be certified? Are there bodies that are developing around it to make sure that there are certain regulations so that Thabo doesn't just wake up and say, "Hey guys, I'm a life coach"?
No, there are bodies like your Comensa, which is your coaches and mentors of South Africa. There's also an international one called ICF, International Coaching Federation. So as a coach, you need to be certified with them, so that you are legit.
I see.
Yeah. So that's the certification
And
we get.
is it like a football coach or a sports coach where you are outside the field and you are screaming, "Hey, 10 left. Hey, do this." And is it almost like that? Because, a lot of people would argue and agree that life doesn't have a formula.
Yes.
What works for you does not necessarily work for me. You could give me this advice and it worked beautifully for you, and it could be disastrous for me. So how do you make sure that there isn't a template necessarily, or is there a universal template that will work for anyone?
Look, I think principles are the same. Yeah, principles are the same. The only thing is just the matter of acknowledge that people are different, different purpose, of course. When I talk about purpose, I'm talking about someone's reason of existence. You get. So you need to acknowledge that, to say, okay, purpose is different, assignment is different. So if our purpose is different, it means we are not gonna we're not gonna need
our needs are not the same.
And also we're not gonna use the same vehicles to fulfill our purpose. Right now you are here, it's media, you are serving your purpose, you are touching lives at home, and media is one of your vehicles. So now I need to be honest to a client to say, okay, fine, what's your purpose? What's your I need to help a person to say, what's your purpose? What's your core ideology? And I
may not know what that purpose is.
No,
that could be the reason I came to you.
That's why I'm here.
I'm aimlessly walking around. I don't know what my purpose is.
So that's why I'm there to help.
I see.
To say, look, man, check what frustrates you. Because sometimes the area of your frustration is an indication of what you are supposed to do. You'd be listening to radio and you're like, this guy is not saying anything.
Exactly. I could do a better job.
Of course.
And of course you'd be lying because we know what we're doing. I'm joking. Don't take me seriously. I'm joking.
So it's an indication of of your purpose. So as a coach, I need to allow you or to help you to look inside you, and show you, you know what?
And we're all on different journeys, right?
Yes.
So to you, what is a priority this time around is different to the next person. So we can look at your life holistically. When you look at your life holistically, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, health-wise, where are you? You realize some person, health-wise, is not that good. So maybe that could be an area of development. The next person is finances. Then it's different scenarios all the time. But like he said, principles are the same, but in how the facilitation is totally different.
21 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Thabo in for Clement. We are together till 12. Across the desk, excuse me, today we are speaking to life coaches. It could be that you've consulted a life coach. How did they impact your life? It could be that you're a life coach and you want to share one or two things with us. It could be that you've never heard about life coaching and you realize, maybe this is what I need. Also, feel free to be in touch. It's really an open invite to all of you who are listening in right now. You want to ask my life coaches some questions, you are most welcome to do so. They're not going to charge you anything for now. So make use of this opportunity on 011-883 0702, 011-883-0702, or you want to quickly drop in a voice note and run away. That's also allowed. You can send your voice notes or text messages to 072-702-1702. On our socials, X at Radio 702, mine at I am free TSM. And you can just throw those views around. We are happy to entertain them right away. I am hosting Thoriso Mokoena and Kagiso Malepe. They're both life coaches. And today on Across the Desk, this is the career space we want to jump into, get to understand, and hopefully walk away with something. How do you deal, Thoriso, starting with you, and I'll come to you, Kagiso. People's problems are very complex, extremely complex. You know, when a vehicle comes through, they diagnose it. It could either be this or that. And at times, people even lie, wittingly or otherwise, about their problems. Mm-hmm. Thabo will come to you and say this is a problem because he has not really confronted what the real issue is. He just wants to look good and to be seen to be doing something about his shortcomings and say, this is my problem. You know, wherever I go, people don't like me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a good person. They are taking advantage of that. Yeah. But he doesn't really share the honest truth about his problems. And they cover it up. And I'm interested in knowing how to properly diagnose as a doctor would, in a sense where I say I have a stomach ache, these are the symptoms, but the doctor here said, this is not a stomach ache. This guy is just trying to cover up, but here's really the problem. Yeah. How do you do that, especially with human beings? That must be tough.
Yeah, no, not really tough, but that's why we get trained.
Okay.
So I have a certification of NLP. So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. So in that certification, they literally teach you on how to ask questions. So there are certain questions when you are being asked, they poke you to talk. And beside the asking or meta-modeling of questions, I'm also an Enneagram practitioner, where it's a personality test where I send you a link and you then answer those questions yourself. The results will then tell me, will reveal actually this person, he's portraying to be this, but the results are showing this. So the debriefing where I'll be talking to you, Thabo, your results are saying this, and then this is this. What is actually going on? Which one is true here? Is it you here, or is it this one that is is showing? So based on that, that makes a person to somehow talk. And beside that, we need to build a rapport together. So you cannot be confident talking with me if we haven't built a rapport together, right? Yeah. So there must be a level of relationship. There must be a level of you being comfortable talking with me. Yeah. And beside that, one of the clauses that we have is that coaching is confidential. So when you come to a coach, whatever we discuss is in confidence. So you then get to let your guard down, because some people, they tend to say, I don't want to talk about this because, maybe somebody might know. So we sign there to say you are in a safe space, be comfortable. So whatever we discuss here, it's not going to go anywhere.
I see.
So questioning is quite key in a person being comfortable talking.
Yeah. Kagiso, how do you deal with that?
Look, I
think two-toned individuals.
The most important thing is to create a conversation that helps that person to understand, because there are 3 questions that people usually want to, they want you to answer through your conduct, okay? Question number 1 would be, can I trust you? That's what she was talking about, that, once I can establish the fact that, can I trust you? It's very easy for me to open up. And do you care? Yeah, because I want to be sure you don't care about my money.
Yeah.
You care about
As
me.
a person, yeah.
You know, so sometimes when you deal with the students, these young kids, they would be telling you, my parents don't love me.
Yes.
And you're like, why do you say they don't love you? They're like, no, they don't love me. But they buy me everything. So they don't love me. They don't care. Yet they buy me everything.
Yes,
They pay
yes,
school fees.
yes.
So what that child is simply saying, she's simply saying, I need more than just financial support. I need emotional support. So you need to show through your conduct and through your conversation, do you care? And then number 3 is, can you help me?
Yes.
You know, so once I have, made a person comfortable by answering those 3 questions, because people don't want to be judged, you know. Hence, sometimes when they talk, you just have to be like, I understand. And more often, you don't impose your view. Listen to them, you know, and ask them questions because more often people know what they have to do. It's just the fact that you need to ask them questions that they are scared to answer when they are alone.
Very interesting. And I would love to find out, life coaching, who is it for? For an individual? Can it happen for a group, or can it happen for a couple? As much as therapy does at times, couple therapy, group therapy. Do you have those sort of models?
Definitely.
Yes.
We do one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
There is group coaching. There's couple coaching, corporate coaching, team coaching.
Yeah.
It's different. So we tailor make them
see.
based on the needs of a client.
How deep do you go with someone? Do you have an instance where you're saying, Thabo is a wrecking ball? Every other 2 days, I must make sure that I get in touch and I provide some little bit of guidance up until he's out of the deep waters. How deep do you go? How involved do you get? Or is there a standard way of just being involved, like seeing a therapy once a week and that's it? You can't see them twice a week.
I think it depends with the client.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it depends with the client. There are those that you really gonna have to give them much
More
attention,
support,
more support,
Yeah.
early days until they are able to stand for themselves. Then you will,
And individuals must know that coaching requires work. Unfortunately, it's not a miracle pill where you come one session, then everything is fixed.
Why not?
It can't
Why
be.
not?
It cannot be. So it's a journey. It's work. You have to be willing to put in the effort. So without the effort, nothing will work. And then you'll say coaching is not working.
Yes.
It's not that. It's just that you didn't put the time and the effort to make it work.
There's this podcast that I love, and it's a US-based podcast of this philosopher. I won't bore you with it, but one of the adverts that he's got in that podcast that we get to listen to because you want to hear what he has to say up next is the issue of psychologist or therapy, and he says there is no one-hat-fits-all model. At times, Thoriso may not necessarily be a good therapist for Thabo, but will be a great therapist for Abel. Is it the same with life coaching as well, where perhaps Kagiso won't do the work for me, but Kagiso will be absolutely amazing to another client out there, and they'll rave about Kagiso's prowess in this field?
We have niches as coaches. So we
Yeah.
have different types of coaches.
Sure.
Business coach, NLP coach,
Yeah.
career coach, team coaching. So based on the client's need. So we can be like a GP, general practitioner.
Okay.
When you come in, if I cannot help you, I then be able to say, because of you need more support in business, I recommend that you go to this business coach. So we refer.
see.
We don't have to do everything ourselves.
Yeah. Across the desk today, Thoriso Mokoena, Kagiso Malepe, life coaches, they're joining me up until 11 o'clock. Feel free to share your views with us. Any question that you have about life coaches, feel free to send them through to 072 702 1702. Exactly 10:30. It's Sfiso Zulu standing by to give us the very latest eyewitness news headlines. Sfiso, good morning. What's the latest?
Thanks, Thabo. Good morning. The ANC says controversial figure and Northwest businessman Brian Mogotsi is no longer a member of the party. Mogotsi's name has featured prominently at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, with crime intelligence boss Tumsani Khumalo accusing him of siphoning funds from people in the name of the ANC. In a statement, the party says Mogotsi's membership has expired and that it has distanced itself from him. Trade Union Nahau is calling on Gauteng Health MEC Nomantu Nkomoralo to urgently deal with the crisis at the province's healthcare facilities. Union members say misconduct and corruption in the sector has left them vulnerable. Last week, the Special Investigating Unit released a report showing that 2 billion rand was stolen through irregular tender deals over the years at Tembisa Hospital. And supporters and family members of a group of activists on the global Sumud Flotilla continue to anxiously wait for an update on their whereabouts. The flotilla, consisting of about 50 boats carrying aid to Gaza, was blocked from reaching the port of Gaza yesterday. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traveling on the M1 South, we still have got bumper-to-bumper traffic between Grayston Drive and Glenhove Road. That's due to the long-term roadworks taking place along this route, about a 15-minute hold-up. If you are traveling in Kelvin, more delays on the N3 North due to roadworks taking place near the Baku interchange. Delays coming out of Marlborough Drive while heading towards Germiston. Queuing traffic on the N3 South between the Gululis interchange and the Van Buren Road exit. While on the Mark 1 South, we've got some delays just as we come out of Boyson's Road. Please be on the lookout there. And heading towards Amalgam, the M2 West remains heavily backed up. This is between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. In the city of Tshwane, we've got some delays, a slight backup really, along the N1 South, just as you approach the Flying Saucer Interchange. Please be on the lookout and continue driving with care. More updates coming up at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
Cybercrime in South Africa in the last 3 years has cost us 4.2 billion rand. From fishing, smishing. Fourth industrial revolution has some seriously good elements, but in the hands of wrong people, it can create chaos. So you and I are balancing between crimes and opportunities presented by the digital space.
Former Interpol Ambassador Andy Mashaile.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
Mr. Govender, congrats on the retirement. You just sold your car to We Buy Cars. Tell us about it.
Yes, it just gathered dust in the garage, so I exchanged it for cold hard cash. Now my wife and I can enjoy a stress-free retirement.
Retiring the car as you retire. Nice. So why We Buy Cars?
It was so quick. They came over to our house to do the evaluation, and we sold it the same day. Tops, man.
Okay, so now you got even more time on your hands, eh?
Exactly.
We Buy Cars. Geared for your next chapter. Geared for you.
Mzansi, Powerball is bringing the thrill with a jaw-dropping 110 million rand estimated jackpot this Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 110 million rand jackpot today and step closer to a world of endless possibilities. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Got your attention? That's the power of advertising.
Prime Media is SA's leading media company, giving you unmatched reach across radio, audio, video, and digital. That's what you'll experience at the Prime Impact Sales Event.
In Joburg, 3 to 7 November. Cape Town, 10 to 13 November. Register and receive a free demo commercial, a custom campaign, and access to exclusive partnerships.
Seats are filling fast. Register today at primeimpact.co.za.
Tap into the power of good sleep. Visit Dial a Bed today and save up to 30% on our best-selling brands. Our Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now $9,499, and our 40 Winks Active Zone Extra Firm Queen Set is now only $11,999. 11,999. Save 6,000. Plus, get next day delivery on our bestsellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
25 minutes to 11 o'clock. Welcome back. 7:02. My name is Thabo Shole Mashao. In for Clement, who was in for Bongani Bingwa. We're together till 12. Thanks very much for joining us. And as tradition on this show, every Friday between 10 and 11, Clement would be doing the Across the Desk feature. I haven't changed nor moved furniture. Today we are looking at life coaches Thoriso Mokoena, Kagiso Malepe. These are my guests. They're both life coaches, and they're here to give us some insights into this very mysterious world of life coaches. What do they do? How do they do it? Feel free to ask any question. And as I said, you can easily call us on 011-883-0702. Or, like the subsequent voice notes, send us a voice note or a text message to 072-702-1702.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Free. This is Flores from the beautiful Western Cape. Let me tell you, there's a little bit of a life coach in each one of us. It's just sharing your life experiences, whether bad or good. How did you attain those good things? How did you de-learn those wrong things, not to try and glamorize those wrong things? But yeah, if it can come across positive, ending up helping someone, yeah. Normally when I go to the US on visitations, I normally speak to people about my own life experiences and how I capture them. Have a good show. Bye-bye.
Hi there. I just want to know, like before going to a life coach, is there anything that one needs to prepare for before stepping into that room, before you start unpacking things? Or do you just go in there and start unpacking at that time? So what is the preparation necessary before you get there? Thank you.
Fabulous questions. Who wants to take it? Thoriso?
Well, for me, because I'm an Enneagram practitioner, so I send you a link where you do the personality test first.
Okay.
So that when we first talk, we talk based on already questions that you had answered yourself. But if you don't want to do the personality test, it's basically just come as you are. As we go, we will just keep unfolding. It's different to each and every individual.
Yeah.
To some people, they don't trust this personality test.
Yes.
It's never 100% accurate, but it is. There's no theory, or there is no. There's no theory that is actually accurate, fully 100%. So it's closer.
Gives guidance.
A lot of guidance.
Yeah.
So for me, I do that in my coaching space. I send you that link first, then you go through those questions.
Kagiso?
With me, come as you are. Then we talk.
Like in the good book.
Heart to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't need to polish up my shortcomings.
No.
I don't need to be all glamorized first and then just as I am and I can just walk in.
Yes.
And you touched on a very important issue of judgment. And I think that's why a lot of people are afraid even to go to therapy, because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid to think that I am not well. And that's a weakness on its own. Given our country and its dynamics and socioeconomic and otherwise, as practitioners, as life coaches, do you feel that there's a peculiarity, a particular specific element of treatment that is only peculiar to South Africans? Or is it just what you're doing can generally be applied elsewhere? Or do we need a specific help as South Africans because our history is so unique and so sensitive?
We are all different. South Africa is different society to the next country. So based on where you are, our challenges will be different. So I can't bring what's in South Africa what we are going through and talk about with somebody who is in Zambia. Totally different. So then it means if I have a client in Zambia, I need to first understand the dynamics of Zambia.
Yes.
So that when I engage with the person, I somehow have a bit of a background, where's this person coming from?
Yeah.
But beside that, sometimes even when we, in a coaching session, when we ask questions, when you talk, it gives me an indication that perhaps this person, this is what is happening.
Yeah.
So it's not an one umbrella
I see.
to everybody.
I see.
It's custom made differently. So
Who's more likely to come to you? Men, women, youth, children? Mainly in your cohort of clientele?
Look, for me, it's leaders. Yeah, most because I'm more into leadership coaching.
I see.
And yeah, so I speak more to leaders. Whenever I'm called to speak to the youth, it's more of there would be a group,
Yes.
of young people just to influence how they think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say leaders, who are you referring to? Are you referring to corporates? Are you referring to middle management? Are you referring to perhaps pastors? Any specific leader, specifically to you, people that you're seeing more and more?
All 7 spheres of influence. Yeah, it's pastors, it's corporate, it's
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone.
So you specifically deal with leadership?
I deal with leadership.
Okay. And Thoriso?
Mostly for me is executive coaching as well. So I do
Yeah.
executive coaching most of the work in the corporate space. So in the corporate space, it doesn't matter whether it's a female or male.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whichever I'm assigned to is
Yeah.
who I assist. But aside corporate-wise, most of the time is women.
Yeah.
I most of my clients are women because I offer more than just coaching. I offer also a bit of a styling part of that of what I'm doing. So
really?
I'm also a stylist. So as you come to me as a woman, we don't just deal with just the inner part of you. We
Yes.
also focus on how now you package yourself in
Yes.
totality. So most of my clients are women and corporate.
I don't want to monopolize this discussion. I see that we have some voice notes. Without any further ado, I think let's just go straight to them. 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Thabo and your guests. My question is, what's the difference between life coaches and motivational speakers? Tiamo from Ridgeport. Bye.
Okay, shall we tackle that before we go to the next voice note? Thoriso, start with you.
Mamela, coaching, we don't advise people. Coaching, we don't tell you what to do. And I'm not here to pump your emotions so that you can feel motivated. So coaching, actually, we are dealing with the part of you that maybe you're scared to bring forth. So as we're asking provoking questions, somehow it's a bit uncomfortable, right? Because we want to get to the nitty-gritty of things. So when we ask you those questions, you then have an answer to yourself. You tell me actually what is the problem. Motivational speaking is totally different. I just meant to pump your energy.
Yes.
I just need to know what to say to excite you. So it's totally different.
I see.
Yeah.
What would you say, Kagiso?
Yes, I think with motivation, we really don't, we don't force you to look inside you, and there's no. When I motivate you, I can motivate you for 5 minutes, then I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now with coaching, you're gonna have to be accountable. You're gonna have to tell me, "Ori, after that session, this is what I did, and these are the results." But with motivation, I would just motivate you and tell you your condition is not your conclusion. Your disappointment will be turned into an appointment. Your test will be a testimony.
And motivation expires.
Sorry to say that. I'm
You're also motivational. You moonlight as a motivational speaker.
Motivation expires, ne? It
does,
expires.
it does.
What ours in coaching is provoking. You get to do the work.
It's
You get to
sustainable.
see the difference. So motivating, I can just pump you up, but as you go out of the door,
Yeah, it's
nothing
gone.
changed.
It's
But in
gone.
coaching, when you leave coaching session,
Yeah.
you have practical ways on what to do.
Voice note, Abel?
Good morning, Thabo. I want to ask from the guests that you have there, do they receive supervision, and what is the value of supervision for them as coaches? Because I find that if you're a coach, independently so, in my personal experience as a coach, you definitely need somebody to supervise you, to give you guidance. What is their take on supervision?
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
very
That's why we
important.
belong to those boards.
Yeah.
Right. With comments, it gives you a mentor as a coach. So depending on what level you want to grow in the
Yes.
in the body. So to be credentials. So you start from the bottom up, going up. As you do that, obviously you have somebody who's mentoring you and checking your hours of work. And yeah, it's quite a I can't say tedious, but it's quite a lot of work as well, because for you to belong to that body, you have to submit certain hours that you've done this and this. Somehow you even give you a mentor when you go to do your facilitations work, to make sure that you are, sticking to their ethics and policies and structures and all that.
Yeah. Oh, so do you, Kagiso, as well, everyone needs someone above them, so that you don't just
do your
become
own
unhinged and you do your own thing and you mislead all of us, and then you are not working within the parameters. How important is to have someone overlooking your work?
No, it's very important. Actually, you cannot be in authority if you are not under authority. So it's very important. You need a mentor. You need someone who will guide you.
Yeah.
You need someone who went before you. You need someone that you'll be accountable to. Someone who will show you your blind spots.
We also have coaches, by the way. So
yeah. Oh, I suppose. I was going to say, who's coaching the coach? Yeah. 011-883-0702. I saw a text message that I did not pay attention to earlier on. And this one says, good morning. Does medical aid pay for coaching sessions? How much approximately do they charge for a session? Now, the business part, the money part, we can't avoid it.
Well, most of the time.
The hesitation comes along.
Let's take Kagiso to go first.
Oh, okay.
No, I would prefer them to contact me, because obviously it would depend on the sessions that we do.
I see.
Can't say this is the price for you.
Sure. Also, each price is tailor-made to an individual.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. And the same for you, Thoriso?
Yeah, definitely. So individual is different. Executive coaching is different.
Yes.
To students is different. Unfortunately, I do not take medical cut at this point.
Yes.
Because of coaches are not part of these other medical or health professional. It hasn't been there as yet.
Yes.
So I'm not there yet. But we're working on it as coaches so that we can have that.
So for now, you'd need cash, credit card, or EFTs.
Basically.
18 minutes to 11 o'clock. I'd love to hear from you. 011-883-0702 on Across the Desk feature. This morning, we are speaking to life coaches, and they are giving us insight into the work that they do. Kagiso Malepe is a life coach, and so is Thoriso Mokoena. We're getting to understand their work as life coaches. Do you have, Kagiso, starting off with you first, do you have situations that are impossible to resolve in the medical field? And I don't want to sound crass or insensitive at all, but there are some times where the doctor says, listen, you must go and say your goodbyes. There's nothing more that I can do. This is it. Get your affairs in order. And this is a terminal thing. I'm trying to find out, do we have conditions that are terminal, that are unfixable, that not even a life coach can work with?
Look, I've never met such, but I think there are those. But in terms of coaching, because my whole point is to coach you to become the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And my principle in life, this is how I approach life. I never help anybody who does not acknowledge that they need help.
Yeah.
So that simplifies my work.
Yeah. And I'm asking that, Thoriso, I'll come to you. And I'm asking that because I have seen people who are generally problematic in relationships or elsewhere.
Yeah.
But they will never, ever own up to that, ever. And they will cry and become victims and say, oh, gosh, I'm just, this person is a monster, even in front of other people. They do not admit that, listen, I'm a monster in this thing. I'm the one who is a mini devil. They'll never, ever come hell or high water. Even when they are offered help, they're still putting up this facade.
Yes.
And they are so good at it that you may be treating something that is not even there at all. So I'm just wondering, to what extent can someone where that, I don't want to say narcissistic because that's been exploited and abused. Everyone else knows what narcissism is, but no one knows what accountability is, funny enough. But so I'm just wondering where individuals are so toxic. I mean, we see that a great example of that is you have our jails sometimes are full of those individuals who do not even see the gravity of the crimes that they had committed. They don't even see that.
True.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that?
Mamela, a person won't change until they want change.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can show you, I can give you tools,
I
can give you techniques and how to become better. But if you don't acknowledge that is a problem. So the first part of it is acknowledgement that, okay, I think I need some assistance. And there's nothing wrong with needing assistance. It's not a weakness. It's not that you are weak. It's just that, how about, there are people who are professional in this area. So instead of you failing 10 or 100 times, with somebody like your coach, you can fail maybe twice. Because it's not guaranteed that it will be a success rate fully, but we're saying as you are journeying, those failures, you embrace them bit by bit. But a person who's not ready to look at themselves in the mirror and say that actually I'm tired of being tired in this situation, then I need to start working on myself, nothing will change. It's like a druggie. They can take them to rehab and they'll still come back and do what they need to do until one is ready to change. Nothing will change.
Let me quickly go to some calls. Neville, you are in Pretoria. Thanks for holding. Thanks for your patience. Morning.
Good morning. I do corporate training for my company, and one of the elements we train on is motivation, staff engagement at managerial level. I'm intrigued to know what your guest's point of departure is when it deals with motivating staff.
Do you want to hold on for a second so that we get a reaction from our guests here, Neville? 1 second.
Sure.
I don't actually do much of motivation most cases. I do coaching.
I see.
So if it's a motivation, it should be like an hour. A motivation talk is not like a coaching session or a training where it's a whole day kind of thing. So I can be featured an hour to just pump up people, what the client would have briefed me by then. That I need the focus to be in this area.
Can coaching lead to motivation?
Definitely, it has motivation in it.
Okay.
It has motivation in it, especially if you are speaking publicly.
I see.
But on one-on-one, it's deeper than that.
I see. Kagiso, you wanted to jump in there?
Yeah, I do motivational speaking.
Yeah.
So I think if they need help with motivation, they can contact us.
Okay, as well. You do both.
Yeah.
Neville, I don't know if that was the gist of your question. Are you answered?
It was a very high level overview, so I would have liked some more detail, but nonetheless, I'll listen on the radio. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I think also one of the important things could be that you're coaching someone who has lost motivation, inspiration. They are just flat out. And so the life coaching can lead to them being, I suppose, having a sense of purpose all over again, and not just necessarily a one-on-one motivation at that point. But it's quite intriguing, especially in a corporate space, because if someone is referred to any of you to go for life coaching, they may have a sense of responsibility and accountability to a senior who had sent them there. They may want to demonstrate to their line manager that this is working and they're cooperative, and in order for them to tick the box and perhaps get the promotion that they want.
In most cases, when invited in companies, obviously the person who they assign to talk to me would tell me, this is the state of the company and this is what we want to achieve, like I would do topics like leading effectively in times of crisis. Then they would explain this is what is happening now.
Definitely. 118830702. Jabu in Kwaggafontein. Jabu, hi.
How's it, Thabo?
Hey, you trying, bro? How are you?
That's good, man. Look, interesting topic. Just a quick one. I work for an organization, an NGO, but also I have my other business on the side as well. So, for the call, multitasking has proved really to be a challenge for me, and I think I definitely need an executive coach, someone that who can help me too, because all this work that they interrelated. It's not like it's different things, So, yeah, I think I need an advice, I need a coach, see how we can have the conversation beyond this.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, Jabu, is that I need you just to chill around for the next 3 minutes or so. I will be asking both of them to leave their contact details behind, and then you can grab either of their details and then make contact after the show, and I'm sure they'd be willing to invite you through. So just for about a minute and a half, stick around, and we will get to the contact details one way or the other. Abel, I see that we do have a voice note on 072-702-1702.
Yeah, Thabo, what an interesting topic. Thank you so much. And dumelang, the guests. Quick question from me is, I don't know if they'll be able to give me an objective viewpoint on this since Kitty Coach, but my question is, what do they deem to be more important? To go for, more of motivational sessions, or to opt for a coaching session? Or when does one know that they need, a coaching session rather than a motivational session? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for that.
I feel, if you know that you need to attain certain things in your life, you would need to have a coach by your side.
Yeah.
Right? However, you can get a motivation while still being coached.
Yes.
Because of motivation is literally what keeps you going. And there must come a point where we get to be motivated internally. You motivate yourself. Because of most of the time, like I'm saying, motivation for me, it's a balloon. Then when it pops, it's gone, right?
Yeah.
But if you are motivated internally, you can always tap into that moment anytime. That will need coaching to have that within you, to be motivated all the time.
I see.
So based on the goals that you want to attain, we do that, we work with you on that one, but we'll also help you how to motivate yourself.
We have about a minute or so. I want to ask you this very briefly, the two of you. How long do you need a life coach for?
It depends on that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Some
depends.
would need it for a month?
Yes, it depends because you check the progress. Or can you stand for yourself?
Yeah.
And as I said, and I've got what I call interactive sessions.
Yeah.
So usually before I do these coaching sessions and whatever, I would want to talk to you just to hear. It gives me a bit of clarity on how to help you.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
So-
it depends actually. Depend on the goal at the same time.
Yeah.
Some people, the goal is 12 months. So would you need me with that 12 months? We also have packages like that. Packages for 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, or a month. Some people don't really too much accountability. They just wanted to help them to make a decision. That person is a once-off coach. Maybe they are in between the crossroad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether to do this or to do this.
Yeah.
But that session just going to be one.
Yeah.
But to somebody who wants to build a house, perhaps, that is quite
I
a
suppose.
long, a bit
Or
of a
someone
long
just
journey.
wants to divorce, they don't know. And they're like, I must
That
go.
can be 3 months, 4 months. Unless you've already made up your mind.
Yeah. Very quickly, please, your contact details. I promised people that you'll share your contact details with them.
Well, my business line is on WhatsApp, right?
Sure.
And even landline, sorry, not line, but cell phone number, 071-181-5881.
Say it again, please.
071-181-5881. Or they can go to my business website, www.lifebyctm.co.za. Life by cultivating the mind.co.za.
Lifebyctm.co.za.
Correct.
Kagiso?
They can contact me on 064-786-7164.
Again?
064-786-7164. Or my website, www.kagisomalepe.co.za.
Kagisomalepe.co.za. I love talking to both of you. I wish you the very best. Life coaches. 11:50.
Life can sometimes throw dumb inconveniences your way. Just listen.
My toddler had a meltdown at 11 p.m. because we didn't have any yogurt.
At least baby quart doesn't exist. Yet.
I saved some snacks. Next thing, gone. And it's 9 p.m.
Fire your entire household, Jabu.
I went to shower and there was no soap left.
That's awkward. Don't allow life to inconvenience you. Come around to NJET. We're open 24/7. Quick, sharp, and co. At your convenience. NJET. With us, you are number one.
Ready, jet, go! Two fully paid trips to the Abu Dhabi Motor Racing Spectacular must be won in the thrilling new JetX competition exclusive to Hollywood Bets. An unforgettable experience awaits on one of the fastest circuits on the planet, with the world's top drivers battling for supremacy. To stand a chance to win, bet 10 Rand or more on JetX. 1 million Rand in cash is also up for grabs. Hollywood bets fly higher with our multiplier. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line, with more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Thoriso Zulu. The ANC says controversial figure and Northwest businessman Brian Mokoena is no longer a member of the party. Mokoena's name has featured prominently at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, with crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo accusing him of siphoning funds from people in the name of the ANC. In a statement, the ANC says Mokoena's membership has expired and that the party has distanced itself from him. The general manager at President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala farm has testified that he didn't know there was money hidden in the compound. He's testifying at the Modimolle Regional Court in Limpopo today, where a trial about the theft of the money is being heard. Emanuela David and siblings Flotilla and Ndilinasho Joseph are charged with breaking into the farm and stealing $580,000 in cash in 2020. The money belonged to a Sudanese businessman who intended to purchase buffaloes. Earlier during the trial, another manager who was responsible for looking after the lodge at the farm told the court that he's the one who stashed the money inside a couch and only told Ramaphosa about where it was hidden. Testifying today, the farm general manager says he wasn't aware of the cash and that he didn't know that his counterpart at the lodge knew about it.
Mr. Control discovered that there were foreign currency in the form of US dollars placed in one of the rooms in the main house, which he did not inform you about. Did you know about anything about that?
Nothing at all.
And even after the break-in, you were not told about the foreign currency?
Nothing.
Trade Union Nehau is calling on Gauteng Health MEC Nomandunko Moraluku to urgently deal with the crisis at the province's healthcare facilities. Union members say misconduct and corruption in the sector has left them vulnerable. Last week, the Special Investigating Unit released a report showing that about 2 billion rand was stolen through irregular tender deals at the Tembisa Hospital. Nehau will deliver a memorandum to the MEC's office in Johannesburg today, demanding immediate action be taken to improve services. Ntokozo Khumalo reports.
Nehau members in their white, red and green regalia have gathered at Gandhi Square in the CBD of Johannesburg this morning. The union says it urgently needs the department to account for its alleged maladministration in the province's hospitals. Nehau Provincial Secretary Mzikayise George says they want the department to intervene.
And we are here to demand immediate action from the department in order for all of those that are seen to have been participating in siphoning the funds that are so needed by the community to be brought to book, and that the law must take its course and deal with these people. But the department must be held to account for what has happened.
Georgia says they will not stop with their demands until they are adequately addressed. Ntokozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And supporters and family members of a group of activists on the global Sumud Flotilla continue to anxiously wait for an update on their whereabouts. The flotilla, consisting of about 50 boats carrying aid to Gaza, was blocked from reaching the port of Gaza yesterday. The vessels were intercepted by Israeli Navy forces with more than 450 activists on board, including some South Africans, which included Nelson Mandela's grandson, Mandla Mandela. His nephew, Maibuye Melisizwe Mandela, who is also an activist, says there has been no contact or further information received.
It is wrong. We stand with the people of Palestine. The whole world has been crying. The United Nations has also said that this is a crime against humanity. You see that is happening in Gaza, the genocide that is happening in Gaza.
Gold is trading at $3,845.05 an ounce. The rand is at 17.29 to the dollar, 23.24 to the pound, 20.27 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.50 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 South between Greyston Drive and Glenhove Road. This is due to roadworks taking place along that route. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Buccleuch interchange due to roadworks.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 26 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the ANC says controversial figure and Northwest businessman Brian Mokoena is no longer a member of the party.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Lovely chat we had in the previous hour on Across the Desk with life coaches, and we were just zooming into that area of work. What does that have to do with anything? Life coaching, and what do they do when they wake up in the morning? Well, I think we've learned so much more about life coaches. Are you a life coach? Is that what you do more or less? And our guests were just touching on the fact that they do a whole lot of corporate work. I hope you enjoyed that discussion. Your text messages and your voice notes were definitely insightful. I thoroughly enjoyed it, including your calls, Neville. You made us think about the motivation. How does it link to life coaching there, especially for the staff? Really appreciate it. This hour is going to be equally, if not more, compelling because it's relationship focus, and we will be looking at long-distance relationships. Are you in a long-distance relationship? How do you cope? How do you handle that? Is there even such a thing as a faithful long-distance relationship? I'm just asking. I'm not in any way impugning your relationship or characterizing it in any way. But I'd love to hear from you. It could be that you've been in a 20-year long-distance relationship, and it has been found that some of those last far longer than the everyday ones where you see this person each and every day, or you don't stay too far apart from each other as far as distance is concerned. And I'm wondering what makes them work, what makes them fail. Feel free to share your thoughts with us on 072 702 1702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Sometimes you meet a person, right, and you're thinking this is the right person at the wrong time, and suddenly you find yourself in a long-distance relationship because you met in a different country, in a different place, at a different space. And whether you're starting a fresh new relationship with someone who lives far away, or maybe you're just transitioning an existing relationship due to work or school, or maintaining a strong connection across distance, this can be a bit overwhelming, especially when you're with someone. Now they must go overseas and do some work that side. You are trying to restructure your relationship to become something else, and distance plays a role. It now becomes a dynamic in your relationship. Things that you used to do together, holding hands, taking walks in the park, perhaps preparing each other food, sandwiches, and so on, they're no longer there anymore, purely because of distance, and you need to navigate around that. Is that even possible? Is that even sustainable? How do you handle that long-distance relationship? And how are long-distance relationships different from ordinary ones that we are used to? I'd love to hear from you. Your experiences always guide us. It's your encounters. We can read 10,000 surveys. We can read studies. We can go in and dive deep into what literature says about long-distance relationships. But I think the crux always comes from people's experiences, your experience. When you share that with us, how did it make you feel when he said he was moving to China to go and work there for 4 years, and now you're thinking, I'm going to be here with whom? I'm going to be going to the DSTV Delicious Festival with whom? How am I going to, I'll go and get ice cream with whom? How's that going to work? I'd love to hear from you. 072-702-1702. My guest, Paula Quincy, relationship and life coach. Paula joins us right now. Paula, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Did I say your surname correctly?
Yes, good morning to you and the listeners.
Good morning. Welcome, Paula. I'm thrilled that you could join us. Welcome. Whenever we speak about long-distance relationships, we assume that it's the other person on the side of probably the Pacific, and they are there for work, and it could be that you met online. Is that feasible? Do they last longer than ordinary relationships, or do they have a dynamic that needs to be explored?
Yeah, so I mean, a long distance relationship definitely has an added layer of complexity because of the logistics between the couple, and they don't get to share the day-to-day stuff that a normal couple living in the same city or same household would get to share. So it does add an extra layer of complexity, but there are long-term relationships that have been successful, but it takes intentional effort on both sides to maintain that relationship and keep it alive, and being involved in each other's lives on a day-to-day basis.
I'm purely playing devil's advocate on this one. A number of people would argue that they would often be riddled with infidelity because it's very difficult to monitor someone physically if they are so far away, or their sense of accountability, physical accountability to you, is not as strong as it would be if they were here.
So there is always the risk of that, but there is the risk of that in any relationship, and not just because it's a long distance relationship. And that's where, it's really much depends on the dynamic of the couple and how committed they are to each other and to their relationship, and, how they overcome these challenges together by keeping their bond strong enough that they don't necessarily get tempted by external parties.
Who's most likely to be in a long-distance relationship or prefer a long-distance relationship, Paula?
So a lot of the time it is either from a work-related perspective, where one person has had to move to another city or country for work-related reasons, and also because people meet online, and then there's long distance relationships from an online perspective because you happen to be in different countries or different cities. Those are the two common reasons.
Mm-hmm. Are there personality types that ought not be in a long distance relationship, and also the opposite, where they are more likely to be in a long distance relationship?
I would say, if you are really insecure within yourself and within your relationship, and you struggle with challenges such as jealousy, insecurity, needing constant reassurance from your partner, that's just going to add to the already the stress and pressure that's already there from trying to manage a distance from a long distance perspective. And this is where the couple is going to need to really work together to, reassure each other and ensure that you're playing by the same ground rules, that you are committed to each other, that you communicate with each other when you are feeling insecure or that you need some form of reassurance. But yeah, if you are on that side where you are jealous and insecure and you need constant reassurance, it is going to cause a lot more conflict and pressure in your relationship.
As the world gets so globalized and we become, and we are now already a global village because everything else that happens is just around us, people find career opportunities elsewhere. Is this most likely to be the trend where partners just are involved in long-distance relationships more than before, simply because opportunities are just at the tip of our fingers. Literally, you could send your CV and you could be called to Canada tomorrow and be forced into a long distance relationship.
So it definitely is playing a role because the world is small, as you've said, and there are so many more opportunities out there. But also with remote working and online working, that can be overcome, and people can be in the same household but working in different countries or different parts of the world. So I don't think that it is going to be the norm going forward, but it certainly is opening up more opportunities for couples.
And one of the things that strike a lot of people is the physical intimacy. I suppose you would have to arrange that and be deliberate, and it can be as spontaneous as it used to be. That's if you were together before and you had to go to different places as a result. But physical intimacy plays a role. How do you navigate around that, Paula?
So, this is where couples, need to communicate. So at times when they can be together, and this is, one of the pros of being in a relationship is setting up a schedule or a timeline of when you are going to see each other, whether one person is traveling to one country or the other, or whether you're meeting somewhere in between, but making time to be together. And then when you're not together, how do you keep that side of your relationship alive, through online sources, so things like sexting, texting, having romantic dinners, and, being intimate in the way that you possibly can by not being physically with each other. And that's where couples have to be very creative with how they manage these things. They have to actually make time for it or schedule it, because they don't have the joy of being spontaneous because they're not in the same location together.
Are you in a long-distance relationship? Give us a call on 011-883-0702. And how did that affect you? Was it a happy, a joyful relationship, or were you frustrated because your partner was miles and miles away, kilometers away from you? And to what extent, how did you survive? I'm interested in knowing, how did you survive? That's if you survived, or what made you go separate ways. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're in a long-distance relationship. Is that something you'd be able to try? If your partner had to say, listen, I have to leave, I'm going overseas, or I'm just going to Cape Town, I'm in Joburg and I'll be working from Cape Town now. Is it something you'd do? Would you survive the long-distance relationship or long-distance marriage? I'd love to hear from you on 011-883-0702. Feel free to send your text messages as well to 072-702-1702, or call us and ask my guest, Paula Quincy, relationship and life coach, any question that has to do with long-distance relationship. How do you make it work? Speaking of text messages, here's one. It says, I was in a long-distance relationship and it unfortunately ended. Me and my ex got married in 2017 and lived together until 2021. I got an offer to move abroad in 2022 for a much better career opportunity. She didn't want to move and decided to stay in Johannesburg. In 2023. On one of my visits, I discovered that she was seeing someone else. Long story short, the marriage ended and I'm happily single now. Paula, is this a mark or a very predominant characteristic of long-distance relationships?
So, no, it's not necessarily a mark of all long-distance relationships. So not every long-distance relationship has infidelity at play. But, this is where, couples have to face this challenge of it does get lonely. You're getting invited out to occasions and braais and, with friends and stuff, but you're always going on your own. And it's hard to always be alone when everyone else is with their partners and having fun, and you just want your partner with you. And that's why it's so important that partners have a daily ritual to be involved in each other's lives and to be a part of each other's friends and to share what's going on in your day-to-day life, so that you feel included and a part of that person's life, and not just, a part-time as and when you can fit each other in, because then the temptation will be there when you're feeling at a low moment. And that's when you should be reaching towards each other and not away from each other.
How important is the support circle for a long distance relationship, be it friends or family members, to be understanding, to also provide a bit of a crutch during those times where you feel lonely, not just alone, but you feel isolated, or you are with them and however you are still missing that important person in your life?
Support structures are hugely important, regardless of whether it's a long distance relationship or not. Our support structures are the people that we lean into when we want to celebrate and good times together. And they're also the people that we lean on when we are going through tough times together. So those support structures are critical, and I would encourage all couples to have a support structure around them. It definitely does help, as you said, when there's a long distance relationship and you're feeling alone or lonely and isolated, that you can lean into these people for support.
Perhaps a relationship, casual relationship, is a bit bearable. Marriage, long distance marriages, are they also likely to last for a long time? Or is the dynamic a little bit different when the two people are married and they are living in different countries, different provinces, and they are divided by distance?
Yeah. I don't think a marriage makes you any more or less committed to someone. It's wearing a wedding ring, doesn't make you any more or less committed. You choose to be committed to your partner every day. People get married for all different reasons, personal reasons, religious reasons, and those kind of things, not just to show their commitment. So, if you're choosing to be with someone in a long-term relationship or a marriage, you're choosing to be committed to them, and you're choosing to choose them every day. And, so this is where couples, when they sit down and they discuss these types of situations and how they would approach these situations together and how they would support each other through these situations, to make sure that when challenges do arise, they are equipped to face them together and deal with them together, that will then make their bond stronger.
011-883-0702. I would love to hear from you. It could be that you are in a long distance relationship and you would like to share your thoughts with us. How do you really survive? How do you take it forward? And how do you sustain it? How do you keep the spark going? Because there could be people around you. You have colleagues, you have friends, you have acquaintances. Every now and then, over a weekend, you'd be invited to this place or the other, and you find yourself alone and your partner is far away. But also, doesn't the mind play tricks on you that what is he doing out there? What is she up to? I called and it sounded as if she was out and having a great time, and she didn't even share with me that she'll be out this evening. Or I've been calling so many times throughout the day today, and this person is not answering. It's unlike them. Is it because they're having a great time? Are they okay? How do you work around that? Let us know on 072 702 1702.
Morning, 702 lenders. Casey here from the south. Personally, I wouldn't survive a long distance relationship because I feel like long distance relationship requires the highest level of discipline one can have, and remember, for a relationship to work, it takes two to tango, right? You might be disciplined, but you don't know about your partner. How disciplined are they? Because it doesn't matter whether you saw your partner over the weekend. It can happen that 3 days later, you're just having the worst day of your life and you just want to be with your partner or see your partner, talk to them. And with long distance relationship, that would be impossible, really. So I wouldn't even dare try it unless if it happened during my relationship. Thanks.
Yeah, very interesting there. That voice note, it came on 072 702 1702. Before I bring in Paula to weigh in on what that said, let me just quickly read a voice note, not a voice note, but a text message that came on 072 702 1702. Hi, Thabo and 702 listeners. Shoo and easy. to long distance relationship. And she just means that I'm not coming through to those. I am not available for long distance relationships. I was in a relationship with a guy who was staying in KZN. While I'm here in Johannesburg, we would visit each other and video call and every now and then. But clearly that wasn't enough for him. So he cheated and I was done. Of course, as my guest Paula had said, it's not only about cheating. You have to somehow as well entertain the fact that you will be alone for some time, and you have to have some sense of discipline. And a lot of people are just sending these and saying that I'm worried about the cheating element, infidelity element. I'd love to hear from you 25 minutes after 11 o'clock. Paula, I don't know if you have anything to say about what that voice note had to say and subsequently the WhatsApp message.
Yeah, long distance relationships are not for everybody, and it's a choice at the end of the day that you're going to make to be in a long distance relationship. I think what's important is that as a couple you define how long is that long distance? What is that time frame that you are willing to put up with? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? And then how are you going to manage the time in between in terms of when are you going to see each other? Where are you going to see each other? What's logistically possible? What's financially possible? And this is where communication is so important. And, speaking to each other and telling each other when you're going through a tough patch, how you're feeling, when you're needing reassurance. And at the same time, you can't expect each other to sit at home and wait for each other every day, day in and day out. Your lives will continue and you will, have a life of your own outside of each other. But that's why it's so important to include each other in each other's lives so that you feel that you are part of each other's lives and not living separate lives, and only meet up, with each other on the odd occasion when you can manage to be in the same location together.
Andrew is calling us from Pretoria. Morning, Andrew. Andrew?
Hi.
Hi, Andrew. We lost Andrew there. 011-883-0702. Would love to hear from you. Alternatively, 072-702-1702, 27 minutes after 11 o'clock. And if you've just joined us, welcome. We're speaking to Paula Quincy, relationship and life coach, and on Relationship Focus this Friday, how to make a long-distance relationship work. I would suppose, Paula, that communication has to be extraordinary, because also in absence of physical intimacy, you must have somehow added some way of dealing with those physical pressures that you might feel in absence of each other. Perhaps you would be video calling each other and expressing how you would want to be together. And if one of you is a little bit shy to say some things over the phone, it would create a bit of a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where, the couple has to be intentional in terms of their day-to-day communication and a daily routine as to, when are they going to call each other? When are they going to communicate with each other? They can try and be as sort of as a couple as much as possible. So, for example, they could sit down and have dinner together at the same time. They could watch a movie at the same time and communicate with each other while they're watching the movie. If they go on a walk, they could take their phones with them and, include them in the walk and the environment around them so that you feel like you are a part of that person's life and you are familiar with their surroundings and the people that they are interacting with wherever they are. So it does take a lot more intentional effort to make a long distance relationship work because of the distance and because you don't have those day-to-day interactions and or the spontaneity that goes with being in the same location.
Andrew, let's try again in Pretoria. Hi.
Hi. Listen, I think open relationships is quite a norm for long distance.
Oh, is it? You mean open relationships quite a norm for long distance relationships?
Yeah,
meaning you're not monogamous.
I think it's become more acceptable, I think.
Yeah.
that people do, and I think it's just another angle on that side.
Where does it come from, Andrew? So spontaneous.
Where does it come from?
No, I'm saying that view is so spontaneous. Where does it come from? Is it from experience?
Yes, I think it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it is from experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, you laugh. I think it's more common than you think.
Yeah. Do you talk about it though with your partner? Do you say, listen, don't tell me, but I'll assume
Look,
that there's someone else?
think my situation happened because it was weird, but I arranged something for her at some stage, and it just became an acceptable thing to do. And then sometimes a relationship, a lot of people that do it, the relationship for some reason, I said to the lady that answered, it's the smaller things stay the smaller things. You don't fret about, like people say, oh, but he's going out. I can hear people in the background.
Yeah.
I can hear music. Why aren't they in bed, by 7 o'clock if I'm not there? Are you really allowed to go to the wimpy without me? Kind of thing. It's everything, because sometimes everything is about the person that's away. The other person's life must the other person's life end. They can't go out with their friends, they can't speak to friends. It's this thing that can a lady have a male friend? I mean, just the question. It's like, who's the better driver, male or female? It's a question that it makes no sense. But what I'm saying is different for people. But I think sometimes that just takes a lot away, that you don't have to worry about things that there's a lot of more important things to worry about. But that's
Andrew, let's leave it at that, and that's because I have to take news headlines. Really appreciate your input. I'll ask my guest to reflect on that. It's 29 minutes to 12. A bit late, Mbali, forgive us. Mbali Dlamini will be giving us the latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Morning, Mbali.
Thanks, Thabo. A very good morning. The Constitutional Court has ruled that fathers are now entitled to equal parental leave as mothers. The court has found that the law as it stands discriminates against fathers, and it perpetuates the assumption that women should be the primary caregivers of children. Following this judgment, mothers and fathers will be able to split their 4 months of leave post-birth equally. The ANC has now confirmed that controversial Northwest businessman Brian Mokoena is no longer a member of the party. The party says Mokoena's membership has lapsed. Mokoena has been making headlines following allegations that he acts as a middleman between the underworld and Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. And the general manager at President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phalaphala farm has told the court that he called the president after the break-in at the farm instead of calling the police. In February 2020, Ramaphosa's farm in Limpopo was broken into, with the robbers stealing $580,000 in cash. The money belonged to a Sudanese businessman who intended to purchase buffalo from the farm. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday, or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
In Waterfall, we've got an accident on the N1 North that happened near Arlindale Road. Delays coming on from the Baklu interchange while travelling in Isando. Some delays on the R24 East between Barber Road and the Tambo interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 South between the Giluli's interchange and Van Buren Road. That's due to roadworks taking place along this route. There's more roadworks on the M1 South between Greyston Drive and Glenhove Road, causing delays. Please be on the lookout there and continue driving with care. We also have got a slight backup reported in Samrand on the N1 South approaching Samrand Avenue. That's roadworks taking place along that route. Please be on the lookout. And that's your last traffic update from me, Amo Ramela. Otherwise, Karabujali will have your next traffic update from the top of the hour onwards. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever as Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit. Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Calling all golf pros. Hollywood Bets invites you to step onto the green. Tee up, take a swing, and enjoy glorious golf action from electrifying competitions and thrilling live tournaments. Get ready to conquer the fairway and chase epic fortunes. Ready to master the odds and experience your crowning moment? Bet now on all the excitement and prepare to make your hole-in-one shot to sensational success. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Light the fire this game day with a winning lineup from Checkers, like Championship Boerewors thick or thin for just $109.99 per kilo. Steakhouse Classic man-sized T-bone steak for only 150 Rand per kilo. And Coca-Cola Original Taste Less Sugar soft drink, 2 liters, 2 for 45 Rand. Save 11 Rand. Light the fire, South Africa, and let Checkers do the rest. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers.
702 and corporates that care with Tracker are talking about Tracker's partnership with Matthew, an initiative helping South Africa's future leaders succeed in maths and science.
We have been part of this incredible country for the last 29 years. South Africa has helped us grow into the organization that we are and has helped us be part of the economy of this country. So fundamentally, we now have to give back. We have to make sure that not just for the last 29 years, but for the future 29 years, we're participating in that conversation. Secondly, Bongani, Tracker is growing exponentially at the moment. We're employing at all levels within the organization, from top to bottom in essence. So what we're actually looking for as part of that growth fundamental is to make sure that we have the right people coming into the organization. We can either be part of the solution or we can be part of the problem or do nothing.
Tracker, protecting futures by investing in STEM education. Visit matthew.co.za to learn more. 702, let's walk the talk. 702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Long distance relationships, that's what we're speaking about on Relationship Focus today. How to make a long distance relationship work. Are you in a long distance relationship? How does it work? And how long have you been in it for? Are you sustaining it? Is it working? It's not working? What would you prefer? Perhaps you've had a long distance relationship before and you're thinking, I need to go back to a long distance relationship. It was far better than this mess that I'm in right now. Please let us know. I'd love to hear from you. As I said, it's mainly your experiences that can guide us. Feel free to share that with us on 072 702 1702. That would be where you send in your voice notes and your text messages too. Unless you want to give us a call, and that's what I'd prefer, if you give us a shout on 011 8830702. You're also allowed to be anonymous, by the way. You can do that. You can say, hey, I don't want you to mention my name, but this is what I think, because it's the substance that matter. Really give us a shout. No worries at all. 011-883-0702. Paula Quincy is relationship and life coach. She's my guest right now. We had a chat with Andrew from Pretoria who called us earlier on. And I was giggling there, Andrew, because you just dropped it randomly. Not because of what you said, but you just how randomly you put that. But it's a very important aspect of this discussion. Can an open relationship assist to make a long distance relationship last? And if so, how do you do it? Because you need really strongly matured individuals who would communicate that and who would say, well, this is what I think. That's why I asked Andrew, and I said to him, do you then look away? Do you look away and pretend that nothing is happening on the other side? Or how do you deal with it? Let's go to Andre now, from Andrew to Andre in Glen Vista. Andre, hi, welcome.
Hi, Thabo, how are you doing?
I'm trying, Andre. How are you?
Yes, like you said, together. No, yeah. Thabo, you see, a long-distance relationship is one that is based on trust and sincerity.
Mm.
You see, my wife and I are together for 51 years.
Wow.
And we are married for 41 years.
Wow, that's a long time. Congratulations.
Thank you. And how it works is we knew one another for quite some time, and then she had worked for 1 year and decided she wanted to go and study in Cape Town. And we debated upon it, and I said, no, it's good. Go and study, because I would never, ever in our relationship want you to say to me, I could have been a nurse, because that is what I wanted to be. And then, yes, she left way back in 81. Oh, sorry, 1980.
Yes.
And went to study in Cape Town. Remember those days, there were no cell phones, there were no video calls like today. And it was only the tiki box.
Yes.
And I had to go drive around and find a remote tiki box where I could have long discussions and things.
Yeah.
And yes, I would then have my annual leave at work taken during in June, and then I would drive down to Cape Town, one man alone. Petrol was expensive. It costed me like 100 rand to get to Cape Town. And I could visit maybe for a week and come back. And then she would get her leave in December. So that would have been the only times we saw one another a year, June and then December. But yes, we loved one another. We were sincere. We're still together. We still love one another.
Ah, beautiful.
And we can now sit and listen to the radio and laugh. And yeah, I also just want to remind you or ask you, did you go and have that PSA test?
I intended for it today, now that you're asking. This afternoon, I had some errands over the past few days after work. So I thought today, but I'll let you know next week how it went. now that you've expressed interest, I'll let you know. But it's a very important one, by the way.
No, I promise you that it saved me. My GP just annually does our blood test, and she picked up that my PSA was high.
Yeah.
I had gone for the brachy treatment, and it's now 4 years later, and I'm feeling good.
Fantastic, Andre. I'll give you a report next week. Andre there giving us a shout. Paula, I'd like to come back to you because the operative word seems to be communication, and discipline is also thrown around. But I really wish to get your expert opinion on what Andrew, not Andre, Andrew had said prior to the news about open relationship, if that can somehow assist to be a bedrock upon which a long-distance relationship relies.
Yeah, look, not every couple is able to manage an open relationship. And again, it's because of the complexity that comes with that. So yes, communication is key around establishing trust, establishing boundaries, and what is acceptable and not acceptable, and how do we protect each other and keep each other safe. So I don't think open relationships are the norm these days when it comes to long distance relationships, because not everybody is in favor of an open relationship. But we are definitely seeing sort of the younger couples or generation experimenting more and being more fluid in their sexual preferences and sexual choices, and wanting to experiment. So, and also with the next caller, having a long distance relationship and being together for 50 odd years, that doesn't happen without trust, without communication, without effort. and being willing to make that commitment to each other. Because if you really want your relationship to work, you will find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
And that includes working through the tough times together, when you are needing some reassurance or when you are having doubts. And that's where openness and honesty and transparency comes into play.
I would like us to take a call from Victoria. Then Paula will come and ask you to just weigh in on that as well. Victoria, you're in Pretoria. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Thabo. Hi, and your listeners. How are you?
We are trying. We are free. We're happy. How are you, Victoria?
I'm well. Thanks for asking.
Good.
No, I just wanted to add my 2 cents worth to say that I'm also in a long-distance relationship. Like I said, I'm based in Pretoria. And how my relationship came about was that between 2021 and 2023, I was based in Rustenburg working there. And then I subsequently had to come back home to Pretoria. But I met my partner just before I left Rustenburg, just like a month before. So I actually feel like, we were meant to be, I needed to be that side in order to meet up with a solid partner and that sort of thing. When I met him, he was doing this e-hailing business. But because Rustenburg is not as cosmopolitan as your Pretoria and Joburg, he decided that no, he's going to actually relocate back with me to Pretoria. And he came this side, we made it work. Fast forward last year, he found a job back at home in Rustenburg as well at the mine. It was a good paying job, so he decided to move back there. And we're still together, we're making it work. We actually have a child now together. So it does take a lot of discipline, a lot of dedication, a lot of, knowing the fact that before you got with this person, you struggled so much with relationships, people that they would be close to you, but they were not serious about you and all of that. So we actually don't take what we have for granted, and we know that this is what we want. We don't want to be with anybody else. So, we're even looking at getting married next year.
Oh, my goodness me. Please send me an invite. I'd love to come through. That's such a beautiful story, Victoria. I love it.
Yes.
And
it's not to say that we don't have some insecurities sometimes and whatnot, but like the coach, they said, reassurance all the way. And so, but whenever we find a chance, like month end when we both paid, it takes a lot of planning as well. I mean, we both see each other. It's either I go over or he comes this side. And
when last did you see him?
I was there just this past weekend.
Oh, okay. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing.
It can drain you, the driving and all that, but you're just looking forward to seeing that person, and it makes it all worthwhile in the end.
I love it for you, Victoria. That sounds so amazing. Well, there's testament there that long-distance relationships are not bad. They're not all bad. I would love to hear from you. Victoria is saying it's working out perfectly for her and the partner. It's 13 minutes to 12 o'clock. You're on 702. My name is Thabo Shole Mashao. I'm in for Clement Manyathela. We're together till 12 and on Relationship Focus. This Friday, we are looking at long-distance relationships. How do you make it work? Your partner lives in the other province. You live somewhere else or another country. And how do you make sure that it is sustained? The fires are still burning and you still feel the same way that you did when you first saw them. Navigating around those long days, long hours without seeing them, weeks, perhaps months on end. And intimacy is a big part of this. How do you deal with intimacy in a long-distance relationship? Do you call each other? Do you somehow arrange and say, we'll set an appointment for this day and definitely it must go down on this day? Let us know on 011-883-0702. My guest, Paula Quincy, relationship and life coach. Paula, back to you. Victoria is telling a beautiful story and she's saying it's working perfectly, but she also concedes that there are moments of insecurity.
Most definitely. And that's with any relationship, right? It doesn't have to be a long distance relationship. And so the key thing is communication, that if you can openly communicate with each other, that this is where I'm at, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm needing from you, this is how I'd like you to support me. It can only enhance the quality of the relationship and the bond that the couple has. Because if they can, work together through the tough times, they will come out shining on the other side, and they will have the happily ever after in terms of the 50 odd years, like one of the earlier callers.
Please say something about age. Does age matter? Because I suppose the younger you are, I don't know, it could be that you wouldn't be more prone to a long distance relationship, and it could be that what I'm saying is just an exception and not just a general norm. But does age play a role in long distance relationship?
I don't think there is a typical age bracket, but I think, the younger generation, because they are more socially active and, going out and meeting people in person, that it generally tends to be your more sort of 35 plus age group that are in long distance relationships. But regardless of age, I think what's most important is that it is the level of emotional maturity that an individual and a couple has that will enable them to deal with the complexities that come with being in a relationship on a day-to-day basis, and then more so when it comes to being in a long-distance relationship, because it does take that extra intentional effort to keep your relationship alive and thriving despite the distance.
Let's go to a voice note on 072 702 1702.
Hi, 702 and listeners. Can I be anonymous?
Sure.
I'm having a bad experience here since I left South Africa. I'm working in Poland. It's been a year now. But everything has been well with me and my wife. We've got 2 kids. But now things have changed now, because we do video calling almost every day, morning, the afternoon, the evening, before we sleep and all that. But the last weekend, she told me she's going out with friends. They booked tickets for a venue. And they went for swimming. They were posting, with this bikinis, swimming in the swimming pool. So I was not okay with that, man. That has changed everything between me and her. I don't know what to do now. I'm stuck. I'm stuck with this thing. I don't know what to do. Now that I've lost trust in her. Now, you know what happens when these people go for groove and stuff. Yeah, it's ending in tears now. I'm crying almost every day about this issue.
Oh no.
Long distance is not good at all. It's not good at all.
Bro, I'd like to understand, what are you angry about? Are you angry about her going out with her friends and she posted in bikinis? And now do you feel that you have lost trust in her? And if so, why? I think it was Andrew who said it best, that the person would still have a life without you here. They would, but I'm not an expert. Let me throw it to Paula Quincy. Maybe she'll give us some insights on that. Paula, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to me that the person is angry and upset, our caller, especially if this is something out of the norm that she hasn't done before. So I'd want to understand more about what's going on for her, that she is doing these kind of things, and how did they communicate and discuss this beforehand? Or did she just go ahead and do it, behind his back? Because that isn't going to help build trust. It isn't going to help, strengthen their connection. It is going to cause doubts and, conflict. So, yes. And so I'd want to understand more about that. And I think the right thing to do is, for this couple to really sit down and have a heart-to-heart conversation about what's going on, and why is she needing to or wanting to behave this way? Is there something going on for her, and how can he support her, and how can she have her needs met and get the support from him? So I would definitely want to encourage them to have a deeper conversation about the situation and what's really going on, and then how can repair this going forward, and communicate better, and feel more secure in their relationship.
Paula, assuming I have, hypothetically, of course, I have a relationship in China, am I supposed to tell that lady everything else that I'm doing in South Africa? Because after the show, our technical producer, Abel, could decide, hey, Thabo, let's go just shoot some breeze, have a couple of beers together, and we would perhaps be doing that at some hotel, and there'd be a pool, and there'd be ladies, and someone is posting, and then she says, but Thabo, you didn't tell me. And I'm not making light of this, but I'm just wondering to what level are you supposed to be reporting your movements that will try in some way or the other to preserve this relationship?
Yeah, I mean, you certainly don't have to give a minute-by-minute report or account of what you're up to on a day-to-day basis. But I think definitely sharing that, I was invited out for drinks, and this is where we've gone, and this is, who was there, and this is what happened, as a way of sharing and including your partner in what's going on in your world, and not in a way that feels like you have to be reporting back to your partner.
Yeah, and I wish our previous listener had given us more information as well around that, but because I think it's important to understand. Also, very briefly, is it important to take into cognizance your partner's insecurities, to know that if you didn't tell them this, they may just flip? They may just have suspicions at the back of their minds. How important is it to somehow consider them in what you would be doing, especially if it's going to go public?
Yeah, definitely. It's about having respect for each other, and respecting your relationship and the boundaries around your relationship. And if you know that there's something that your partner doesn't feel comfortable with, to either abstain from doing that thing, or to give them the complete reassurance that they can absolutely 100% trust you, and that that this kind of situation or environment would make them uncomfortable, but you just want to reassure them that you are, still fully committed to them, and they've got nothing to worry about.
Paula, how do people reach you? Because clearly we still have a lot of work to do in relationships. How do we reach you?
So I'm on all the social platforms. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. My website is paulaquincy.com.
paulaquincy.com. Thanks very much. Really appreciate your time and your insights here on 702, 3 minutes to 12.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
Cybercrime in South Africa in the last 3 years has cost us 4.2 billion rand. From fishing, smishing. Fourth industrial revolution has some seriously good elements, but in the hands of wrong people, it can create chaos. So you and I are balancing between crimes and opportunities presented by the digital space.
Former Interpol Ambassador Andy Mashaile.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
The Furs Antique Fair returns to Rosebank this Sunday, 5 October, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you are a collector of timeless treasures, this is the one not to miss. Browse an exceptional showcase of coins, medals, watches, and jewelry, the finest in South Africa. Visit Collectors Investments at the Fair for more. The Furs Antique Fair, Rosebank, Sunday, 5 October. For details, call 082-883-4933. That's 082-883-4933.
Tap into the power of good sleep. Visit Dial-A-Bed today and save up to 30% on our best-selling brands. Our Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now $9,499, and our 40 Winks Active Zone Extra Firm Queen Set is now only $11,999. Save $6,000. Plus, get next-day delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
Betway is taking you to dizzying new heights in one of the world's most popular games, Aviator. Place your bets and watch the multiplier climb higher and higher. Pick the right time to cash out and stand to win millions on a single bet. It's all possible from the palm of your hand. Get way more only at Betway. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
Author extraordinaire is hosting the show between 12 and 1. Mandy Winner, she's in front of me. Mandy, what's coming up between 12 and 1?
Well, thank you, Thabo. The ConCourt has ruled that fathers are now entitled to full parental leave, so we'll look at that judgment. The local government in Durban continues. We'll give you the latest on the global Sumud Flotilla. The EFF reacts to Julius Malema's firearms conviction, and it's Friday.
Sports and good things too. It's 12 o'clock home time.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Zamini. The Constitutional Court has ruled that fathers are now entitled to equal parental leave as mothers. Following this judgment, mothers and fathers will be able to split their 4 months of leave post-birth equally. The court has found that the law, as it stands, discriminates against fathers, and it perpetuates the assumption that women should be the primary caregivers of children. The court confirmed the 2023 finding